Ah! Greetings and salutations. It is I, Roxie Ryder, your local time-traveling trash bandit, coming to you live from the inside of a golden trash can, and today is Work in Progress Wednesday. Woo! God, I'm so sleepy. I don't know why I'm so sleepy. It could be because I'm sleeping terribly, but anyway, yeah. So, today is Work in Progress Wednesday. We are playing the demo for a game called Save the Villainess. The premise of it is that you are trying to stop a. You've been isekai'd into a bad romance novel, and you are trying to stop the villainess of that novel from getting murked, because neither of you remember what novel you're in, and you also don't know who it is who's trying to kill her. And there are several love interests. So it's like it's a visual novel, kind of a bit of a detective type game. So it merges a lot of things that I've played on this channel previously, which is cool. Um, One thing I will bring up before I uh, switch to the game is that oh, for the love of God. I saw this little content warning when I opened the game, and I had to click away from it because I had to fuck around with the audio settings before I could stream. But the warning is: warning, this game contains scenes of horror, suicidal ideation, innuendo, black comedy, bright lights, flickering lights, motion that may induce vertigo, nausea, and sudden movements. No real villainesses or romance novels were harmed in the making of this game. And then also, for streamers, mute the music channel under settings if you're creating content for YouTube, which I am. So I have muted the music. You will unfortunately not hear the music. But yeah, okay, cool. So scenes of horror. Let me just put that. This game contains scenes of horror, suicidal ideation, innuendo, black comedy, bright lights. Hi, caffeine! Hi, flickering lights, motion that may induce vertigo, nausea. That is not how you spell nausea. And sudden movements. There we go, and pin this message. There we go. Yay! Hi, caffeine. Hi. So yeah, that was a little warning I got at the beginning of the game. But yeah, without further ado, let me see if I can get over to the gameplay screen real quick. Game capture. I'm not playing Graveyard Keeper. My God. I should really learn to set this up before I start stream, but I never do. How you doing? I'm alright. I'm a bit sleepy. Um, I'm a bit sleepy. I'm a sleepy girl. Uh, but yeah, I'm alright. I'm alright. How are you doing? Oh my god, what is happening? Okay, there we go. Jesus Christ. Okay, hold on. Oh my god. Everything is crazy bananas. There we go. Perfect. How are you doing? So real. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, this is Save the Villainess. This okay, I saw this guy, this one here, this brown-haired fucker. I saw him when I was going through the Steam page for the game, and I was like, why is that just Gale Gallion of FSP? Of, why is that just Gale Gallion of First Stage Production EN's first generation Avalon? Like, look at him. I'm gonna have to screenshot that later. Anyway, this is the demo. I have no idea how long it's gonna be or what it includes, but let's just get to it. Oh, oh, we started. God, it feels weird to not have music. Dramatic. Real fucking dramatic. Bro, the audio is so loud. Hold on, give me a second. Good grief. Okay. That should be better. Shall we begin? God, this is giving me real, like, do you want to play a game vibes. Shall we begin? What is your season of birth? Well, my season of birth is October, so fall? Continue. A fall birth. Yes. Does that matter for this game? What lovely scents. Soil, leaves, and decaying flesh. Pardon? Where's Billy Puppet? No, like, I'm getting really creeped out. The fuck is this? Regardless of your unfortunate birth, we must move onwards. Okay, chill. Chill game. What is that? Do you feel that something is lacking? You would like some way to make this more about you? Very well. Your tastes are the highest priority. What is your food of choice? No capital or spaces allowed. What is my food of choice? Can I just put, like, alcohol? No. What is my food of choice? Uh... Uh... Salmon. So you prefer your food like you prefer your comprehension? Rotten if left unattended, and an undertaste of something forcibly removed from a greater sea of knowledge? Excuse me? You have exquisite taste. In your mouth, anyway. Why am I being bullied by this game? Were you expecting more questions? More focus on your desires? That time has passed. After all, yours is not The only story. Brother. I thought I was playing a visual novel, not a horror game. Chapter 1, Wheel of Fortune. Okay. The purpose of existence is that one should become conscious. Carl Jung. Bro, I don't know what the purpose of existence is. I'm just here, man. I'm just vibing. I've long ceased the idea of having any sort of purpose. He just looks like Gale. Okay. Hi. Why are you staring at me? What's going on? You're so blonde. Are we just in a staring contest now? Oh, okay, it's loading. Emperor, what would you wish the world to be shaped by? Brother, What would I wish the world to be shaped by? Collaboration. So you wish to work by consensus. Take care which voices you value and which you ignore. Okay? Ominous. Hermit. What do you do when faced with a challenging problem? I don't know, hide under my fucking bed? Follow the rules, create your own path. Create your own path. There are more ways to solve a problem if you have no restrictions. If you do not mind what other problems are created along the way. Gilgallion! Hold on. Let me screenshot this real quick, because this man just looks like Gale. Okay, which is more important to you? To find love through forgiveness, to love yourself and your own strength. More important to me, to find love through forgiveness. Love and forgiveness can create strong connections. Take care those connections are willing to love and forgive you. See, a couple of years ago, I probably would have answered the other one. And I've answered it was more important for me to love myself and my own strength. But as I've gotten older, I've come to the realization that most healing and growth happens in relation to other people, right? Like, I would not be the person I am today without the people I have in my life. I don't think that that is problematic. I enjoy celebrating the fact that I am who I am because of those people, right? So, yeah. I think it's more important to love through forgiveness. Isn't there a fourth guy? Where's the fourth guy? Save the Villainess. Oh, right, there's a lot of movement in this. She do be pretty, though. Where am I? Who am I? And why am I in a strangely moving carriage? You're bleeding! Good woman. A strangely moving carriage with comfortable seat cushions. Very comfortable seat cushions. No! I will not be distracted. Why do I not remember anything? After all, while I know that I sleep soundly, this entire situation is very strange. Hold on. I do remember something. I know that I sleep soundly. Unfortunately, that is not exactly the most useful knowledge to remember. Perhaps I can recall something else if I think deeply? What else do I remember? I know that I can catch feet fish with my amazing dowsing skills. But this fact is not going to be useful to me right now. Right now. I have more immediately important things I need to remember. For one, what kind of person was I? Why am I traveling somewhere in a slow-moving carriage on lush, comfortable, yet oddly ominous cushions? Why is my neck so sore? 'Cause you're bleeding, girl! If I reach up to touch it... Well, now I have another question. Why is my hand covered in blood when I touch my neck? Is someone trying to kill me right now? Are these incredibly large cushions murder weapons? Why do I know how to murder someone with a cushion? I have to calm down. If I'm going to survive and determine what is happening, I have to be serene. Which is hard to do when my neck is covered in blood. Serene. Let me just change my little content classification thing here. No, I think it should be fine. Realistic violence. I don't know if I would call this realistic violence, so I think we're good. Think serene thoughts. At least my head is still attached to my strangely sore neck. Because apparently I know what it would be like to have my head not be attached to my neck. This is not helping my serenity. Serene. I am serene. I have a head. I have a neck. They are delightfully connected. I have to keep my head. Losing my head would be fatal, figuratively and literally. I am vulnerable, injured, and cannot remember anything remotely useful. I need to find some information that can help me. Even if this carriage is moving very strangely, something has to be making it move. I can hear the horses pulling it, And if horses are pulling it, someone must be guiding them. So if I yell out the window, that is odd. The window does not appear to open. Perhaps if I yell loudly, the driver will hear me? Hello, Mr. Carriage Driver! Could you please tell me where we are going? He is not answering me. Well, if the driver is not doing his job properly, I suppose he would choose not to answer me. Why are you no longer bleeding? So I have realized with my extensive memory of about 10 minutes, if you want to get something done, do it yourself. So what should I investigate first? Oh, you again. So you need a little additional assistance? One might even say, help? As always, I live to serve. For certain definitions of serve and live. Capturing Hearts, a guide. The Villainess Survival Guide, an instruction manual. Why is ominous smoke coming out at me? Yeah, this is cool. This is cool. Sure. Yeah, this is exactly what I want to be happening right now. Let me do this. The Villainous Survival Guide. Congratulations! You have found yourself in possession of one Villainess. In order to help your Villainess succeed, you will need to know the following information. Table of contents. Night, day, strange time, love, raise or lower love, deduction, correct or failed choice, tips and tricks. Okay. Symbols to guide your choices. The moon represents nighttime. It is harder to see in the nighttime. Also, people are more likely to try to murder you. On the positive side, at least your terrifying nightmares and heartfelt conversations with potential murderers might be useful. The sun represents daytime. Many clues are easier to find if there is light and people are awake to speak with you. Not all clues are helpful. Not all people tell the truth. The narrator will not be responsible for any injury, irritation, emotional complications, or prolonged rashes that result from gathering clues. 3. The combination of the sun and moon represents an unusual time. Sometimes one's villainess might encounter a time that is neither night nor day. Strange things might happen when time is no longer in effect. Stranger than taking advice from a talking book? You be the judge. Okay. 4. The heart represents a love choice. One cannot buy love, but one can decide whether they wish to gain love or to lose it. Do you want romance for your villainess? Do you want something else? Should you care more about impending murder than manipulating emotions? 5. The red hearts represent an affection-raising choice. Is your dream to find love? When a love choice is made and you see red hearts rise into the air, love is being increased. Truly, love is all you need, as long as you do not care about pesky details like staying alive. 6. The black heart represents an affection-lowering choice. Do you hate romance? When a love choice is made and you see a black heart break and fall, love is being decreased. There are few things more satisfying than reveling in others' misery. Let them eat little cakes! 7. The magnifier represents a deductive choice. Do you like solving mysteries? Whether you do or not, you must to survive. If you make incorrect deductive choices, your villainess will face a terrifying ending. But perhaps there are things you can only learn when all hope is lost. 8. The purple butterfly represents a correct deduction choice. Do you like being right? When a deduction choice is made and you see a purple butterfly fly upwards, you made a correct deduction. You can then bask in smug satisfaction until the next murder attempt. 9. The red butterfly represents a failed deduction choice. Do you enjoy failure? When a deduction choice is made and you see a red butterfly fly downwards, you made a deduction that will lead to failure. However, some failed deductions will have unusual consequences, if you do not mind the risk of death. 1101. Should you wish to receive fewer direct clues from me and no longer see hearts or butterflies after your choices, you can choose to act as a detective rather than view this as a story. You can make this transformation within settings. If you have previously visited, you also have the control to skip through this tale. I hope my service is as subtle as you are. There may be other hints and tricks for you to discover, but only if you can find a way to save the Villainess. Okay, thanks. Should you wish to revisit my assistance or read further notes of use, you may seek me at any time at the sign of the butterfly. Solve the mystery. Write the story. Save the Villainess. Dude, how many times are they going to tell me that I need to save the Villainess? Wait, do you believe you already know it all? No, I wish to learn more about this world. So what should I investigate first? What on earth is happening? Okay, yeah. Oh my, good grief. What on earth? Uh-huh. Yeah, I saw this. Okay, cool. So what should I investigate first? As you have wisely chosen, we will not proceed quite yet. Sometimes what seems familiar might not be as it appears. Your caution will serve you well. After all, I know that you do not yet understand one of your most important commands and duties. No, it is not the back command that I plan to provide instruction on. Stop highlighting it. Why do you want to learn about the back command? All the back command gives you is the power over time and space to go backwards and see what you have already done or erase your current choices and redo them. You can also go back by reading a page up in the story or by rolling your mouse wheel backwards, although why you have a mouse on a wheel, but why would you use this power? Oh, and then I went back. And I went back again. Oh, haha, very funny. I will warn you that you will not always be able to return to the past. Some choices are unchangeable, so think carefully before you act. Do you know what will always allow you to return to the past and protect you against the consequences of your own actions? It is not the only villainess you need to save. It's not only the villainess you need to save. Save the game. Oh my god, this is stupid. Welcome to the Gallery of Memories. There are many exhibitions you can use to create the memories you wish to save. Of course, you have no idea how art works. Allow me to simplify things. These are empty pictures. What do you do with empty pictures? Perhaps that is too many pictures for you. Let's take a look at one empty picture. When you move over an empty picture, you will be able to fill it with a picture of your memories and to save and return to in the future. No, you cannot practice painting now. You can save yourself on your own time. Hopefully I have painted enough of a picture for someone like you. Okay, this game is rude. Maybe looking outside would be helpful? Yeah, sure. Surely I can learn something useful from where we are traveling. So let us see what the curtains are hiding. Opening the curtain and staring at the side window was not my most useful idea. There are many trees, but even with the strange flickering lights, it is too foggy and dark to see much of anything else, including the front of the carriage. Someone must be driving me, but there is something very strange about the way we are moving. The carriage is moving so slowly that I cannot feel the ground moving beneath us. It almost feels as if we are going back and forth in the same place. The driver has also never spoken to me, even when I yelled to get his attention. Should I be concerned? I'm concerned that I did not hire this driver. Why care? Let workers do their jobs in peace. I am concerned that I did not hire this driver. As beautiful as this carriage is, it obviously belongs to someone with a lot of money. I do not seem like the kind of person who would own this carriage, and the driver is not treating me as if I am paying his wages. Servants listen to the person who is paying them. If the driver is not listening to me, he might not have my best interests in mind. So what should I investigate? My clothing might have pockets. Have I really looked at my hands? Are my body parts still attached? These cushions must hide secrets. Cushions cannot be this beautiful and this terrifying without having secrets hidden in them. I will find everything you are hiding from me, even if I have to rip you apart by hand. How's the most beautiful girl in the world doing? Aw, Dama, you're so sweet. I'm alright. I'm alright. I'm playing a very strange visual novel right now. Hold on. Ominous cushions? Attack. Wait. Attack, I guess? The cushions are unmoved. Well, yeah, I'm attacking a cushion. What is going on? Dude, so much. So much. I guess I fucking wait. I'm fighting a cushion right now for some reason. I was just trying to investigate. The cushions sparkle in the light. Brother, I'm gonna, lose this fight. I guess I'll attack it again. Oh my god, this is violent. Imagine the cushion attacks back. I'd shit myself. The cushion looms ominously. I would also fucking shit myself if the cushion attacked back. What if I wait again? I guess this is teaching me some kind of combat mechanic, but strange way to do that. The cushions sparkle harder. Wait, what if I wait again? The cushions are blinding. Defeated. I got blinded by the cushions. the fuck is happening? These cushions are both beautiful and made of material much stronger than me. Well, that's a deduction in and of itself. What is this game? It's supposed to be a visual novel, but I'm so confused. The game's been insulting me every time I try to do anything. I have been defeated by cushions. Perhaps there is something I can learn from this experience. These cushions must be wildly expensive, like this carriage. Its ornaments contain enough gold to fund a small nation. Whoever I am, I know when something is expensive, even though, based on my condition, I am not an expensive person. Therefore, this is not my beautiful carriage. This is not my beautiful ride. Yes, I think we already concluded that. This carriage belongs to a wealthy owner, someone I do not remember taking me to a place I do not know. Yet why would this owner of this expensive carriage want to provide comfort to me? The cushions are a trap. I am being taken from where I was harmed. I'm gonna go with I'm being taken from where I was harmed. Purple! I was injured, ragged, and about one gust of wind from being blown away into the sky before getting on this carriage. I was not well enough to sneak onto this carriage, and I could not have gotten in here by accident. Another reason I could not have sneaked into this carriage is that even though the driver does not seem to care about me, he must know I am here. I even called out to him. That means that someone has deliberately placed me in this carriage and on these cushions. The person who brought me here, my patron, did not treat my injuries or provide me with new clothes or a bath, but perhaps they thought the cushions would cure me? Well, you are no longer bleeding. What is happening? Would anyone notice if I took the cushions with me when I left? They are the only support I have right now. Oh, that's so sad. So what should I investigate? Well, I investigated the cushions. My clothing. Have I really looked at my hat? Let's investigate my clothing. Well, I will definitely not be able to find anything in my pockets. Because I do not appear to have pockets. Unfortunately, this dress is even more mysterious than the lack of pockets. Why is someone riding in a beautiful carriage wearing something like this? Oh yeah, she has amnesia. I forgot to say that she has amnesia. She doesn't remember anything. The biggest mystery is, how did I not become naked trying to walk in this outfit? How are these rags staying on my body? How did I not become naked trying to walk in this outfit is such a funny way to phrase that. Still, I need to solve my immediate problem. Why am I riding in this fancy carriage while wearing this dissolving outfit? This dress looks like something that has survived numerous attempts to destroy it, and then was used to birth several puppies. Hungry puppies. Crazy analogy. Crazy simile. Metaphor. My head also hurts. Was I in this dress while it was attacked by hungry puppies? Was that something from one of the books I used to read? So apparently I read. That is probably useful to know. In fact, this dress looks like something a beggar from a book would wear. But when I look closer, this dress appears to have once been very beautiful. This was not cheaply made. This dress also appears to have been damaged not just by wear, but by force. The dress and I have also not been washed for weeks based on the overwhelming smell. If I am in this fancy carriage, why could I not change out of this ragged dress? What happened to me? I could not change because I was a prisoner. I could not change because I was poor. Hi, Mike. Hi, Mike. Hi, Mike. How was Dreamcore? Hello, hello, hello. I mean... Based on the original quality of the dress, this was not made for someone who was poor. This dress was made for a wealthy woman. Why is it in such terrible condition? Was I kept in a place where I could not clean myself or change into something else? A place like a prison? I certainly feel tired and hurt enough to have been imprisoned. Hopefully I'm not being moved from one prison to another. Even more importantly, I hope that wherever this carriage is going, they will allow me to wash myself and my dress. Although I am not sure either of us will survive water at this point. So what should I investigate? Are all my body parts still attached? Well, when I investigate my body, my feet hurt enough for me to wonder whether or not they are still attached. The good news is that my feet are still attached to the rest of my body. Good news, good news. The bad news is that there is definitely a reason for my feet to be hurting. Ow. Ow. I hate disrespecting the ominous cushions, but this is the only place with enough light to see my feet. Hi, sorry, took forever to open Twitch. Toes. Unfortunately, not only are my feet filthy, there is a strange inconsistent bruising around my ankles. Oh, you are definitely a prisoner. The bruises hurt. I was gonna say me, but no, that does not look like my feet. The bruises hurt and seem to be recent based on the colors. How did I get a ring of bruises around my ankles? Brother, you were probably chained up. Never put your feet inside a bear trap. Something was attached to my feet. Damn, girl, dogs out for free? Yeah. Again. Just for free. For free. No matter how hard I grip my ankles, I could not possibly create this kind of damage. This looks like something was attached to my ankles. Something that was heavy and hard enough to badly bruise them. Was I shackled? What happened to me? More importantly, how did someone with heavy shackles on their ankles manage to get out of those shackles? So what would be the one job I could have that would allow me to be in and out of shackles regularly? If I am a failed magician, I am going to be very angry. So what should I investigate? I think the last thing to investigate are your hands. I know I was injured earlier and had blood on both my right hand and my neck. Perhaps I can learn more by looking closely at my hands. My head also feels like it was split in two, and I want to know why. A good place to start would be for me to find the source of the blood that was on my hands when I touched my head and neck. So let me see if my right hand has any clues for me. This does not make any sense. There was blood on my hand. I know there was. I just need to touch my neck again. Yeah, I told you, you're no longer bleeding, girl. This is bizarre. Not only is the blood without a source, there no longer seems to be any blood at all. I cannot feel any injuries. I cannot even detect any bandages or stitches to stop the bleeding I felt. Even the blood that was there earlier is gone now. My hand and neck are completely clean. Even if I could heal in minutes, the blood on top of the wound should still be there. I do not understand what is happening, but I do have another hand. Perhaps that hand will not betray me. Hi, Mike Bay. So what does my left hand have to offer? Well, this hand has no blood on it, imaginary or otherwise. I have neither calluses nor scarring. I have also never dug dirt with these nails. These are not the hands of someone who spent a lot of time using them for anything other than gesturing. I feel as if whoever I am liked crooking fingers at people. The finger crooking muscle is well developed. But why is there a faded circle around the bottom of my fourth finger? Oh! Wedding ring? Engagement ring? I hurt my hand and the scar faded. I had recently removed a long-worn ring. Girl, you marriage. Why would I have a ring mark on the fourth finger of my left hand unless... Was I engaged? Married? Unless this is the plot of a very naughty book, I am sure that a lover would not have me tossed half naked and injured into a carriage by myself. At the very least, one would think I would still have a ring or some sign of their support. I am deeply afraid that my taste in lovers was very much like the state of my body right now. They both stink. Men ain't shit. Girl, I know. So what should I investigate? Is there anything left to investigate? Oh, no more investigation. It's time to deduce. I have realized. No more choices for you. I have learned my lesson. Left to your own devices, you will choose to fight cushions. I must find a way to convince you to make better choices. Do you understand what this is? No, not the concept of not knowing what you are doing. Do you understand what this is? This is a lock. L-O-C-K. What does a lock do? Yes, it locks. In this case, one of your options is locked. Because of your previous terrible choices, the path that would proceed to a better future is closed to you. Should you make clever choices, or rather, if the villainess makes clever choices, a better path will be unlocked and available. Wait! Don't be too eager to ignore the path that will end in failure. In a world of many possibilities, there are some things you can only learn when all hope is lost. Will you lock yourself to the story you most want to hear, or can you open yourself to the truth? I have realized. No, I'm gonna go with I am in serious danger. Both? Well, I might not remember my name. I certainly remember power. Unfortunately, I also know that I currently have none. I was injured and imprisoned, lost a long-term engagement or marriage, and I'm currently traveling to an unknown location surrounded by ominously comfortable cushions. However, this is not how I always lived. I was obviously once wealthy. My clothes are only still attached to my body because they were made of fine, expensive material. How else could they survive both prison and hungry puppies? On the literal other hand, my poor fingers have obviously never faced a choice more serious than which servant to crook my pointed finger at before I wound up here. So how did I go from luxury to misery in this beautiful carriage? After using my investigative genius, I can safely say it is because I used to be someone with wealth and spectacular taste in lace. Yet I was somehow imprisoned by powerful enemies, possibly because they were offended by my sense of style. However, someone with even more power and a greater respect for lacework rescued me out of prison and placed me in their expensive carriage. This is information I can use to survive. Or at least I could use this information if I was not trapped on a carriage ride to nowhere with a driver who refuses to speak to me. I just need a moment to think. Uh-huh. I could have sworn I saw light in the window. Am I imagining things? For a moment, I felt more real and less like a creature lost in a strange dream. More importantly, was that light someone coming to meet the carriage? That gives me an idea. I know that the patron who pulled me out of prison had the power to rescue me and put me in this gold-lined carriage. This means my patron must have both money and political power. If only I could borrow some of my patron's power, a power that people obviously respect. Is the carriage stopping? I have a bad feeling about what the driver is planning to do by stopping in the middle of nowhere with no destination in sight. I have no way to protect myself with my dissolving dress and unmovable yet ominous cushions, so I will have to find some other kind of power. With apologies to the revolution, I'm going to have to use the most ancient path to power. Name-dropping the most powerful person I know. Thank goodness you are here, Mr. Driver. I am glad you came to speak to me about speeding up the pace of our journey. After all, when I look out the window, I can see the light of my patron ahead. My patron is obviously impatient with how slowly we are traveling. At this rate, my patron will be here before you even reach the front of the carriage again, and that would be unfortunate. For you. If you do not drive me to where I am meant to go immediately, I am worried that my patron might be upset with you. After all, I do not wish any harm to come to you. Power to the workers who make the country and this carriage run. Did it work? Oh, it's nighttime now. I knew dropping the owner of the carriage was the way to survive. The rights of the working class are very important, but sometimes you need to have the power to purchase large carriages to make things happen. Finally, I'm getting somewhere. Perhaps this time I shall even remain conscious. The purpose of existence is one should become conscious. Carl Jung. Chapter 2, The Tower. There is no coming to consciousness without pain, Carl Jung. romance. Love. The fuck is this? Betrayal. Happily ever after. I can't read that. Oh, it says betrayal. Villainess. There are so many stories that can take you on journeys to your dreams and nightmares. You imagined yourself the heroine in every one of them. Do you remember? Do you remember your sanctuary from a cruel and unforgiving world? Do you remember the hours spent reading until your eyes were so dry you could no longer weep? So many charming stories featuring swooning sweethearts who could overcome all obstacles to their love. You have spent countless hours with perfect princes, icy northern dukes, and charming childhood friends. But it is easy enough to leave a story hanging. Can you do the same with your own life? Can you walk away when you are trapped in the story? You may not have realized, but you are trapped in a tale you once knew well. With the power to write your own story, what would you want for yourself? Power? Love? Or something else entirely? I would like to not die, actually. I will settle for not dying. You are alone and do not know who or what you can trust. Do you seek to keep that isolation, or will you take the risk to reach out? Above all else, a single wrong choice, a moment of inappropriate hesitation, and you will not live to leave this cursed story. If you would protest that sweet stories should not have such danger, remember that not everyone in such tales can be loved by the creators. In the magic of storytelling, for the heroine to succeed, there must be something to succeed against. If there is a heroine, there must also be a villain, or a villainess. However, the devil is in the details. All hope is not lost. Perhaps you can shine a light on what is wrong with this world. What is the balance between your sins and your glory? Trust your judgment, or be weighed as undeserving. Shall we remember the tale you have forgotten? Shall it end as it began? The story awaits. Once upon a time, there was a lovely heroine who wanted to be loved. Her golden locks and deep blue eyes showed that she was worthy of the kind of devotion that can only be found in dreams. Though she was but a commoner in a land of noble magicians, her power and beauty made her a flower rising out of the filth of her birth. All those who knew this heroine told her how special she was, and that she was destined to find love with one as special as herself. Yet her beloved was engaged to a wicked noblewoman. Could the heroine capture her beloved's heart and win their happily ever after? First, the heroine had to overcome the most terrifying of opponents, her beloved's fiancé. That's us! The villainess. There's a lot of spitting in this game. Does it feel as if you are getting nowhere? There are many stories, many truths in this world. This is the one you need to know now. Lady Jane Neville. Who would have thought? She deserves it for harassing that poor commoner. She deserves it for conspiring against the kingdom. She deserves it for pretending she was anything special. Was he not her fiancé? The one the commoner is involved with? Well, he made the obvious choice when you consider Lady Jane's deficits. This is so exciting. Let us see Lady Jane pay. Judge. Order! I will have order in this court. I am presiding over this trial and I will have order! Lady Jane Neville, you stand accused of harassing a promising and productive citizen of the great kingdom of Carcosa. Do you believe yourself to be above the law? Do you understand the seriousness of your situation? You have no defenders. There are no supporters to speak for you, and your own fiancé has... If I might interrupt... Not until the verdict is pronounced. This is an impartial court. Lady Jane must be sentenced to execute... I insist. As the fiancé of Lady Jane Neville, I invoke my legal right to speak to her fate. Proceed. Does the court truly wish to make such a quick decision on her fate? To truly reflect on and understand her actions, she must be removed from this situation. I call for exile. Exile, 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 exile. Order! I will have order! By his right and the laws of Carcosa, the fiancé of Lady Jane Neville has determined her sentence. Lady Jane Neville is hereby condemned to exile. So all this time, you were the one who planned this. My fiancé. My beloved. My betrayer. Exile, 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 exile. Exile for one without support is the same as execute. How attached are you to your head, my lady? Brother, I'm very attached to my head, actually. Okay, hold on, let me... I'd say I'm about a neck's worth attached to mine. Yeah. Same. Same. What in the name of bad romance authors was that? I think I just barely survived a potential murder attempt from my silent carriage driver. Was that murder attempt connected to my dream? My dream that I became the villainess in a terrible romance novel that I do not remember reading? That would explain why I am a rag-covered amnesiac who has a strong understanding of guillotines. Obviously, a brilliant woman like me would normally play the role of the heroine, but someone must have decided that the villainess could use my investigative genius. This all means that I am currently trapped in the body of Lady Jane Neville. Neville. I don't know how I'm going to pronounce that. I'm going to go with Neville. A woman whose name has evil written right into it. Yeah, it's not subtle. So if I want to survive, I must use my investigative genius to determine who wants to get rid of Lady Jane. Is everybody an answer? However, if that dream is true, then Lady Jane was mostly loathed by the heroine and Lady Jane's fiancé for being in the way of their romance. I call for exile. Based on that dream, Lady Jane's fiancé obviously wanted her to die miserably in exile, only to have his plans foiled by a patron who broke Lady Jane out of prison. Who are these people? How could a high-ranking noblewoman like Lady Jane Neville be imprisoned for bullying in the first place? Who cares? The important thing is that I find a way to survive this bad romance, once I remember who my allies and my enemies are. Serene. I am serene. I am much smarter and better looking than any terrible writer of adulterous romances. I am now Lady Jane Neville, and I will stop any murderous fiancé with both subtlety and my knowledge of bad romance novels. I just need to get out of this carriage first. I did not mean that I wanted to leave that quickly. Am I meant to leave here? Surely the driver cannot behave that suspiciously a second time. I have so enjoyed our conversations, Mr. Driver. I will miss them wherever it is I am going. Just the PNG walking forward! Somehow, this view is even less appealing than it was when I saw it through the window, wiggling her toward the camera. Yeah! It's creative, I'll give them that. Wait! Are you planning to leave me here? Wherever here is? What am I meant to do now? Hope for enlightenment? Fine then. Let there be light. Wheatley voice. That was God there, quoting God. Oh, I'm in front of a house. Bruh, everything in this is so fucking ominous. I understand that's the point, but I'm like, goddamn. Well, that was not at all ominous. This place is not at all suspicious or murderous. What next? Will the dead now call for me? Come closer. Oh, good God. Hello? Ah, That is much better. I have been waiting for you, Lady Jane Neville. Welcome to the house. So that confirms that the dream was real. I am trapped in the body of a villainess with amazing hair and poor taste in men. It is reassuring to know that someone in this story is both polite and willing to not instantly murder me. Yet if I'm currently the story's villainess, how much can I truly trust this person? I have 1,000 questions to go along with my new name, but I cannot afford to ask any questions unless I am very careful. I must be clever, calm, and in control. I must find the perfect way to respond to the servant's welcome. This is a lovely house. Do people often survive the night here? Do people often survive the night here? Yes, for certain definitions of survive. That is very comforting. If by comforting I mean afraid this is yet another person out to murder me for Lady Jane's past villainy, maybe I should see if I can subtly learn their identity? I assume we will be spending some time together. What should I call you that will not make you want to murder me? I am they who serves. I assume you do not want me to call for they who serves when I am trying to survive the night here? If you are unable to translate serve into a name, servant will serve both of us. Maybe clever is an impossible goal for me right now. So instead I should say something that sounds like I am a perfectly normal non-villainess who knows how to not be suspicious. If this person is dressed as a servant and I am supposed to be a noble lady, I should say... Time is too important to waste. Am I allowed to rest? Wait, hold on. I'm actually gonna put this here. Yes, because I hadn't made any choices. Oh, red hearts. I made the right choice. Time is too important to waste. So far, I have not been murdered. I would like to continue surviving by asking smart questions and being led to a safe bed. I look forward to you providing me with both answers and pillows. I admire your commitment to knowledge and pillows. Of course, one of these things is more likely to strangle you in your sleep. My pillows will strangle me in my sleep? Not if you have sufficient knowledge. Then I will not let myself be defeated. I will find the information I need. I will spend all night grappling with it, if necessary. No matter how hard, no matter how long, I will succeed. I believe in your stamina, my lady. Should you work up an appetite, I am happy to serve. After all, I admire someone who can handle difficulties that are both long and hard. Brother in Christ. I mean, the warning did say this game contains scenes of horror, suicidal ideation, innuendo, black comedy, bright lights, flickering lights, motion that may induce vertigo, nausea, and sudden movements. So, I mean, I should have expected this, but damn, so soon? So soon. I am unsure if you are just being mysterious or if you are trying to delay before we enter the manor. Time is a terrible thing to waste. Shall we proceed? Let us see this charming house. I hope that it and you will meet all my needs. I hope that we will both provide all that you desire. Welcome, Lady Jane. May you find what you seek. After you. Okay. Can I get a change of clothes, please? This dress looks awful on me right now. Why am I spinning? Why is the room spinning? Oh, this is where the vertigo lives, yeah. This is a very slow, silent scene. Oh, I suppose this would normally have music, but I'm streaming and they told me to mute the music if I was streaming, so yeah. Oh my. You startled me. People go come and go so quickly around here. People come and go as they must. Whether it is fast or slow is a matter of perspective. Stop right there. Huh? Have you noticed yet that your perspective is not the same? Of course you have not. Let me try to simplify things. This is Jane. If you move, Jane will move too. See Jane move. There will be moments where their perspective changes and you will be able to see things more clearly. Should you look around, you will be able to discover things that might have been hidden. Or not. If there are... Oh. Oh, I accidentally went back. If there are voices blocking what you can see, you can hide them from view while you explore. Ah. Pay attention. Find what is hidden, but above all else... Oh my god, you need to stop doing the title drop. This is like the 5th time. Is there anything hidden? There's a door here. People come and go as they must, whether it is fast or slow is matter of perspective. Oh, what the fuck? Yes, speed is obviously something that can only be measured by feelings. Much like time. What? Obviously, I will not be speeding to my bedroom to rest if I cannot stop going around in circles, both literally and figuratively. There's a fucking axolotl in the background. What is happening? So what can I say to move things forward? So this is the house? The house? As you can see, my lady, there are no other houses here. Therefore, this is the house. Certainly, everything about the situation is perfectly illogical. However... Can you tell me something useful? Oh, hold on. Yes, can you tell me something useful? Can you tell me something useful? I am tired, dizzy, and scared that I will be strangled by pillows. I just want one helpful piece of information so I can sleep in peace. That did not give me. Like all else, use is a matter of perspective. Hold on. Okay. Why is the house alone? Is it shy? Did the other houses vanish into the fog? These are all excellent ideas, my lady. None of them are correct, but the ideas are excellent. Ideas are priceless here, my lady. Should you keep several spare ideas at all times, you will be well rewarded. I have no idea what I know or do not know at this point. I need to find some information that will help me stay safe while living as Lady Jane Neville. I also need to find a way to earn this servant's trust so that they will support me against my murderous former fiancé. Maybe subtle flattery might help convince them to support me? This is a very lovely house that obviously does not always kill people under mysterious circumstances. Yes, I have said as much. I wish more people would appreciate the beauty of hardwood. You need to stop talking about erections, my guy. Also, why is my phone... Hello? Okay, hold on. Give me a second. I need to check something real quick. sorry about that. My phone that I use for tracking was for some reason not charging, even though the cable was plugged in, but I fixed it, so we're good. We're not at risk of me just dying halfway through the stream. Anyway, as I was saying, this man needs to stop talking about hardwood. Well, I appreciate hardwood. I can definitely look around and see how wonderful this house is. For instance, this is a perfectly normal ceiling. There is nothing strange about having wall paneling, wainscoting on it. Normal manners often have heavy wooden panels on their ceilings that might unexpectedly fall down at a moment's notice. That is correct, my lady. Though I would suggest you be careful where you stand. Why? Is that the secret of the house? Does it destroy people by dropping unexpected wainscoting from the ceiling? That is mostly a matter of timing, and time is always relative. For all that servant speaks of time being relative, I feel that it is running out for me. So what can I do to extend the clock and learn what I need in order to protect myself? Perhaps I will learn more if I subtly show servant I am trustworthy. Speaking of timing, you can tell me anything at any time. I am very trustworthy. Nothing is less trustworthy than saying I am very trustworthy. Ah, how wonderful that you are very trustworthy. In which case, the secret of the house, yes, is that we barely have the wainscoting under control. What? It is very difficult to tend to places beyond my reach. I am both ashamed and impressed that you noticed my inability to serve. This is beyond my ability to respond to. Girl, okay. Wait, ignoring their obsession with wainscoting, servants said we. This is my chance to discover something useful. That is not the only thing I have noticed. Hold on. By we, do you mean you and me? That was not the right answer. Are you flirting with me, servant? Does keeping the waistcoating under control mean what I think it means? Wait, hold on. I am insulted, my lady. I would not dream of being anything but straightforward. Well, I'm gonna go back. Are there others in this house? Are there others in this house? I mean, other than you, myself, and the wainscoting. Very clever, my lady. The inhabitants of this house vary, but they will become clearer as you decide. So there are other people in this house. I knew that light in the carriage window meant someone was there. Does that mean my patron is here, or is it someone else entirely? Is my former fiancé lurking in the wainscoting while preparing to murder me? Either way, I had better make sure servant is on my side and not tempted by lurking fiancés. Well, no one else here could possibly be as remarkable as you. Oh, my lady, in several hundred years your bones will grow flowers as lovely as your long-decayed flesh. What? What are you even saying to me, sir? On second thought, I hope I meet some of the other inhabitants soon. I hope that my honesty does not confuse you. I am not sure I ever stopped being confused. However, I do appreciate you answering my questions. Unfortunately, all of servant's answers raise even more questions. I have just realized that I had no memory of this person when I arrived at the house. I just knew that they were a servant and treated them accordingly. When they called me a lady, it felt natural to give them orders. Yet who was servant in the original novel? Was servant someone important to the tale, or just one of the unnamed background characters? Surely, even if I was Lady Jane and could remember her past, Lady Jane could be forgiven for not remembering the name of a single servant, no matter how familiar they are with me. Unless they were her childhood nanny, her very young-looking childhood nanny. So, on a completely unrelated note, how do you feel about babies? Oh my girl. They eat almost as voraciously as rats at a corpse. Sir, you really need to stop talking about dead bodies. Go back to talking about erections. Go back to talking about erections. That was much less unnerving than now that you're talking about dead bodies. I no longer want to know if servant was Lady Jane's childhood nanny. I appreciate your colorful descriptions. Do you know what else I would appreciate? The secret to controlling ominous cushions? No. Well, yes, actually, but I would like to first get some sleep. Surely there must be some place in this house that is not covered in wainscoting? Well... surely there must be some place in this house that has a bed tucked in between the wainscoting? In that case, there is a room that might be of use to you. At this point, if it is full of neither wainscoting nor ominous cushions, I want you to lead me to it. I live to serve. Shall we indulge your tastes now, my lady? Why was there an axolotl in the background? Like, genuinely. What is with the wainscoting? Yeah, I have no idea. I am definitely ready for something to taste. Excuse me? That was the other half of servant's we, I guess. Like, I know that there are 3 other characters in this that I can romance. I've only met one so far, and I've been playing for 2 hours. Right. Nearly there, my lady. For some definitions of nearly and there. It feels as if there should be many more rooms on this side of the manor, yet there is only one door. This does not match the windows I saw from the outside. Even the lights I saw from the outside did not match the lights inside. Then, once I came inside, those candles slowly lit up by themselves. However, at this point, I will be grateful if there is not a giant pit I must cross to reach a bed. Is this the bedroom where I will be staying? Of course, unless you prefer the hallway. Pardon me? Well, it is a beautiful hallway. You are welcome to stay in it as long as you like. So long as you do not mind what comes out of the wallpaper when you close your eyes. Serene. I am serene. Ah, serenity. I wonder what that feels like. Oh, me too. Now that we have something in common, I should ask Servant a question to better understand what is happening in this house. After all, I am supposed to be trapped in a bad romance, not in a horror novel, yet it is clear that there is something very odd about this manor, or perhaps about Servant. To help me become serene, I have something I need to know. Why is this house so unusual? Do you usually see things that are not there? Do you usually see things that are not there? I can only see what can be seen. So everything you have mentioned is visible? I can only speak to my own view of the world. Okay, hold on. Why is this house so unusual? Why is this house so unusual? Perhaps it is the other houses that are unusual, and this house is as houses should be. No, I am very sure this house is the problem. And that is true. The house is both the problem and the solution. Perhaps more of a problem due to the lock situation. What lock situation? When there are locks, sometimes one can get locked out of rooms. If you get locked out of a room, are you not supposed to speak calmly? Since communication is key? Is she making a joke? You are as witty as you are lovely. I am not sure whether or not I was just insulted. I can't get a beat on the tone of this game. No, it's very bizarre. However, the only thing worse than being insulted is having to ask whether or not you were insulted. So, as I definitely understood your clever words, I am now ready to sleep and think about how clever you were. What a coincidence. I am ready to stay awake and think about the same thing. Well, I am ready to take my chances with whatever is beyond that door. Then, while the evening is spread out against the sky, let us go. Off to you, my lady. So there's a portrait of a blonde woman behind here. Maybe I should have looked at that, but oh well. So the bed is placed against the wainscoting. Were the builders unable to stop creating wainscoting long enough to make a space for somewhere to rest? Rest is temporary. Wainscoting is eternal. That seems like a design decision that will cause problems when wainscoting starts falling on people just trying to sleep. As I said, rest is temporary until it becomes eternal. Well, temporary or not, I need some rest, although I would like to bathe first. While my thick coat of dirt and bruises might match the decorating here, I do not want to sleep in this charming outfit. It appears I have another concern as well. Based on the noise of my stomach, I need some way to fill my hunger. That transition was wild. Yeah. The bath has been prepared. Okay, the bath has been prepared and food is available to consume while you wash. Still, while the bath is available, I will not be joining you. Well, duh. What? I cannot provide for all your appetites and needs. Oh my god. Girl! Good lord. Excuse me? You are excused. Still, you will need to clean your body and thoughts on your own. Good evening, my lady. May you wake from your dreams. Oh my god. I am now afraid that if I blink, the room will disappear as Servant did. I must find the bath before this happens. The room looks as if a depressed brothel mated with an army of wood paneling. Where could a bath possibly be hidden in this space? That makes both more and less sense than I expected. How did they even fit the bath in? You know what? Never mind. I'm just grateful to be able to clean myself. At least the water is pleasant and does not seem to be ominous. Even if I can no longer see the blood I am sure was on my hand and neck, at least I am able to become clean. If only I could do as well for my stomach. Where did that food come from, and why is it being held by a piece of wainscoting? I am too hungry to care. I'll be very upset if I am murdered by a frighteningly shiny apple and a wine glass full of apple juice, but at least my stomach will stop making terrifying noises. Well, at least that was food and not wainscoting in disguise. So what do I do now? Am I meant to wear these rags to bed? Am I meant to sleep undressed? That is definitely a nightgown. I'm going to assume it was hiding at the bottom of the wine glass. Although I am tired enough to have imagined the wainscoting dropping it in front of me. I am not too tired to realize this nightgown fits me perfectly. This is concerning. Why is there someone who knows so much about me when I know nothing about them? I still do not care. Those pillows look so comfortable that they can strangle me and I will die smiling. It is time to sleep. Oh, I'm finally out of that dress. I hope my new dreams are kinder and less strange than the rest of my day. Oh, goody, another dream. Maybe. Maybe another dream? Oh, it's a painting. But the tree is moving. A scenic meadow. A stunning beach. A magnificent forest. Where would you like to die? Uh... What is happening? Oh, it's becoming day. Dude, they went ham on the animations. This was wholly unnecessary. I mean, it looks pretty, but was it necessary for the game? Everything is so ominous. So I am unable to escape from this horror even in my dreams. Is this meant as an attempt at intimidation? Well, I do not respond well to intimidation. Or do I? I know I am trapped in a story I've read, but it is hard to remember who I was before this. Perhaps I was affected by whatever hurt Lady Jane. No, this is garbage. If I cannot remember my own past, must I be cursed with ominous warnings meant for someone else? Ha! Obviously, my tormentors do not know me very well. After all, even if I do not know myself well, I know one thing. Whoever I am, even if I am trapped in the body of the villainess this story is determined to destroy, if you take away my arms, I will kick you. If you take away my legs, I will bite you. If you take away my teeth, my gums will make you bleed. I will not be defeated. I will find a way to escape this mad world. Good morning, world. Here I come. Oh, wait, hold on. Where should I go find clothing? I suppose I could go back to look in the dresser. Oh, wait, I accidentally went back. I have to find some clothes that are not transparent in the light. I could find clothing. I suppose I could go back to look in the dresser. Or the wainscoting could just drop an outfit in front of me along with a large apple. I'm a little concerned about the house's obsession with providing me with apples. Is it saying I look like a roast pig? Regardless, I will save an apple for the future in case there is somewhere with no wainscoting to provide me with food, as impossible as that seems. At least, I also now have a suspiciously well-fitting dress that will not suddenly tangle around my legs should I need to flee. The nightgown was beautifully made, but delicate things are not very useful when fleeing for your life. I will be a champion fleer in this dress. So before I flee, I need to find more information about Lady J. Neville and the people who want to kill her. There is no point in fleeing the suspicious house if I just walk instantly into the arms of J. Neville's former fiancé. Who knows? It might not just be Jay's fiancé who wants to murder her. At some point I need to see if he just has a murderable face. I shall explore this house and see if I can find its mysterious other residents and subtly learn what clues they can tell me. Then I will flee in my very fleeable dress. It is so comforting to have a plan. That's gonna go to hell in a handbasket, isn't it? Oh, Merlina. Brother, the portrait is blinking. So where shall I go? Oh, hold on, what did I say? So where shall I go now? I went back too far. Merlina. That was not at all unnerving. I assume the bedroom was glad to be rid of me. I can only hope the rest of the house feels similarly. 1001. Merlina. If so, I hope that I can quickly find the other inhabitants and get the information I need. This is strange. I could have sworn this hallway has had another entrance, yet I only see the door to the bedroom. Perhaps if I go back to the bedroom, I will find another exit that I missed? This looks strange. What is going on here? This is not the bedroom. Hello? Is anybody here? None of this seems right. Uh-huh. If I look around, this seems like a manor long deserted, not a house that is being lived in by multiple people. What is going on here? The Crown Prince of Carcosa is behind that door. What will you do? What? Curtsy until you hit the floor. Who is this voice in my ear? Am I supposed to show respect? It seems wildly ridiculous to curtsy to a door. Perhaps the house is in the habit of naming its doors after royalty. I can probably afford a curtsy if it makes the situation stop. Serene. I must be serene. This is ridiculous. Obviously, I am merely being blinded by wainscoting and need more rest. If I move closer to the door... I can see nothing unusual. Nothing unusual for this house, at least. How could the Crown Prince of Carcosa possibly be on the other side of this door? Well, there he is. In all his blonde-ass glory. This is a strange way to zoom in on his body, y'all. Just crotch first. Oh, he's very blonde. He has very blue eyes. Not Prince? Jane? I have no idea what accent to give him. I already gave the servant a British accent. I don't want to assume all royalty is British. Is that you? It is hard to see with all this light in my eyes. I recognize this man. This is Edmund Alpin. I hope you are doing well, Jane, despite the recent problems. The Crown Prince of Carcosa. It is fitting that I only remember the handsome prince from the terrible novel and not anything useful, such as whether or not he plans to smother me with ominous cushions. He did not appear to be smuggling ominous cushions when I carefully looked him over for security reasons. I'm not prepared for this. Neither am I, girl, neither am I. What do I do now? Run away as fast as you can. Hello, Your Highness. Goodbye, Your Highness. Jane? Jane? What just happened? I could have sworn that there was not a giant hedge in front of the manor. It was very dark last night. More importantly, I am a simple woman. When an ominous voice whispers choices in my ear, I expect those terrible choices to be honored. Forcing my body to run when I have chosen otherwise violates the spirit of ominous voices. Should I not have been allowed to curtsy so low my niece escaped from this stupid story? Think of my escaping knees. It appears you doubt my guidance. Well, would you be pleased to listen to an ominous voice in your ear? Point taken. Also, your advice is terrible. A good ominous voice would at least let me say something impressive, such as, "From the depth of oblivion, I curse thee," before I had to do something stupid. You made me say, "Hello, Your Highness. Goodbye, Your Highness. How can I be a good villainess with such pathetic words?" That is not even addressing my ridiculous run. So you did not wish to run. I had no desire to run so far and hard with some other force controlling my body. Fine, the decisions are yours. You will realize the truth soon enough. And wish you had run even farther. Ha! You sound even more foolish now. There's a man in the background. Hello? Nobody could run any farther in skirts than I did. He's ominously approaching. What the fuck is this? So I am finally free of voices and in a scenic hedge. At least I can stop worrying about terrible romance novel fiancés until I catch my breath. But can you? They really like this kind of close up shot of the crotch before they pan up to the face. Butterfly. Ooh, he's purple. Yes? Hedgeman. I don't know what voice to give this man. So you did escape the hedge, Jane. Who is this man, and why is he covered in leaves? Wait. I know him. This is Izel Kuzi, Duke of the North. Duke of the North? Romance novels are terrible at naming places. Also, apparently the only thing I remember from reading novels is the descriptions of attractive men. That seems fair. And that is why it is important to determine whether it is a good hedge or a bad hedge before moving. You have to be careful about hedges, Jane. I do not want you to be hurt by a bad hedge. Somehow I have missed everything Lord Izel has said. I will need to subtly change the subject to hide my inattention. Do you enjoy lurking in bushes, Lord Izel? Or Izel? Sometimes I have to do things I do not enjoy in order to do things that I do enjoy, though I wish these leaves would stop following me. I'm gonna pronounce it Izel, actually. Duke Izel's presence forces me to realize that my situation is even more confusing than I imagined. I was so sure that Prince Edmund was the former fiancé that I was escaping, especially since I was literally forced to escape from him. However, a Duke of the North who sneaks around in bushes is both suspicious and a good candidate for being a bad romance novel's male lead. Which of them was the fiancé who betrayed Jane and sent her into exile? Unless, could one of these two men be the patron who helped Jane and me escape from prison to come here in the first place? Who is who? Is Prince Edmund a sparkly yet murderous fiancé or an equally sparkly yet helpful patron? Is Lord Izel a suspicious hedgeman? Well, yes, but is Lord Izel also a former fiancé? Could he be my patron? How can I tell? Are you hurt, Jane? Did the bushes ambush you? I need to decide what voice to give this fucking man. Maybe I'll give him a British accent. Maybe I'll give him a Swedish accent, just for the lulz. Why am I surrounded by people who want my destruction? Probably because they are jealous of how hard you've been. I cannot do that. Well, he's the Duke of the North. I should give him a Nordic accent. Probably because they are jealous of how hard you have been training. Pardon me? Jane, you have always been the hardest working person I know. Your enemies must have seen your efforts and grown jealous of you. Oh, I'm so mean. They have? What should I do? Obviously, you must train hard to overcome all future trials. Luckily, I am here to help you. By the time I am done training you, no one will doubt your strength, brilliance, and cunning. You will overcome every last obstacle. Does this strange Duke of the North even know what genre he is in? We're supposed to be in a bad romance, not an action-adventure series. Perhaps I should have fought harder to stay with the prince dressed like a human chandelier. Yet that may be unfair. Duke Izel may not be quite as obsessed with training as he seems on first impression. Perhaps he has other sides to his personality. It is good to see you again, Jane. I have been waiting in these hedges for some time in the hopes of our next meeting. Well, at least he is not only interested in training and growing stronger, he's also obsessed with hedges. Having diverse interests is important. Yet this is not helping me determine whether or not he is Lady Jane's fiancé, and whether he is training her to survive, or whether he wishes her to die in some sort of training accident. Still, I do not remember any male leads in romance novels being so focused on hedges. Then again, I do not remember any romance novels at all. Perhaps romances are mostly centered around hedge care. Unfortunately, I do not think the ominous voice is going to help me run anymore, so I have no easy way of leaving this situation. So how should I answer this hedgeman, who could be either friend or foe? Oh, love. So you wish to know more about love? Well, you forced me to. You seek me as your tutor? Your trust. Okay, actually, I'm gonna give this ominous narrator voice. Your trust in strangers and talking objects is noted. I have created a gallery that will provide what you seek. You will be able to judge affection through writing, portraits, moods, and numbers. After all, you love to see success in every form. Do you consider success to be bringing happiness or misery? Your pleasure is your choice. What story will you tell? Or what story will be told of you? Portraits of love. Eyes of Kuzi is perfectly neutral. You are not happy. You are not happy with the state of this gallery. You wish for more options. Perhaps you need some further explanation. This is Duke Aizel Kuzi. Yes, I'm very aware. Never mind. Why bother showing the entire man when the only part you care about is the face? I know what you value, and here is where you can discover the effects of your choices. In this very special gallery, those who are capable of receiving love will show you how they feel about the actions of Jane Neville. For instance, how do you think Duke Azel feels right now about Jane's actions? Pretty neutral. Of course, Jane has not taken any actions yet. That is why this answer should be easy. Neutral. Duke Azel feels neutral about Jane's non-existent actions towards him. Fine. Why do we not see what happens if Jane performs an action that makes Duke Azel feel happier? Is that not an incredible difference? Can you not see the joy beaming from his face? No, I see no difference. Perhaps Duke Azel's expressions are not as informative as we could hope. In which case, I have helpful numbers and instructions to share with those less perceptive than myself. Like all good galleries, we have a helpful explanation of the portrait to help those with less understanding of art. Aizel Kuzi is perfectly neutral. As you can see, it currently says that Duke Aizel feels perfectly neutral. Should an action be performed that makes him happy, the writing will show the change in his mood, adding or subtracting the amount he is happy. Aizel Kuzi is 1 part happy. There will also be signs shown at the time a choice is made, depending on whether or not you wish to watch a story play out or be a true detective. You are still complaining about your lack of options, are you not? Very well. I live to serve. While this exhibit is not yet uncovered, you will find a portrait for it soon enough. However, these portraits will not last forever. The choices made will determine who is capable of being loved, and who will have a curtain drawn over their future. Choose wisely, and remember, if you give me the title drop again, I swear to God. Okay, thank God. So how should I answer this henchman who could be either friend or foe? How do you plan to train me? That was the right choice. How do you plan to train me? Jane, I am glad you are ready for training again after all that has happened. We will work to show your speed, strength, and cunning to all around you. No one will dare doubt your abilities. Unfortunately, Duke Aizel appears to be saying that I am surrounded by my enemies, and he is probably right. If that is the case, I really do need to train to get stronger. There are likely far too many people out to dismember me because of Lady Jane's villainous ways. I should thank Duke Aizel for the excellent warning. Thank you, Duke Aizel, for letting me know about this threat. I will try to become more difficult to dismember. Perhaps that will prevent future blades from reaching me. Oh, if you have already had some blades pierce through you, it is all the more important to practice dodging. Obviously, my problem is that I have not spent enough time dodging. Do you know where I can find a tutor? I am more than willing to help you practice your skills, Jens. After all, I am very good at dodging and piercing. Good grief. That is very good dodging. Whenever you are willing to see my piercing skills, I have my tool at the ready. What? But we should not yet talk about sheathing hard weapons within you or anyone. Oh my fucking god. But we should not yet talk about sheathing hard weapons within you or anyone else. Jesus fucking Christ. There are far more important tasks before we start training together. I have a list. Well, I had a list. Did you lose it among the bushes or when pricking soft women while training them? I do not prick women. I have never yet pricked a woman. After all, I am yet unmarried. Oh my god. Okay. 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 And I have been very careful about doing my business in these bushes, so... Ah! I knew I had my list somewhere up my sleeves. Marvelous. 1. Go to Jane's manor. 2. Find Jane. 3. Solve problems. Very useful list! As you can see, there is only one step left. Duke Izel, I am morbidly curious about what the solve problems part of this list means. Good for profit. Are you here to help me? Oh god, no, that was bad. I go back. Am I the problem you are solving? There we go. Am I the problem you are solving? Yeah, I am. I'm going to be going back to make those the correct choices because that is the path I want to take. You are always so clever, Jin. I wrote entire lists about your brilliance. It is nice that Duke Isil thought enough of me to include me in all 3 steps on his list. However, I should probably subtly see if he is as sneaky as his excellent hiding skills suggest. What else might be concealed in those cleverly chosen words on his list? The list says problems, not problem. What else are you solving other than me? Jane, you are the cleverest person I know. How did you notice there were multiple problems? I'm very good at reading. Of course you are. You have discovered my secret about the problems. The truth is... Yes? I do not know what all the other problems are. Yet. But my list will reveal its secrets to me once I am able to handle the truth. After all, my father taught me to always listen to the heart of the list. Since you have found one of the truths in the list's heart, I should adjust the list to show what you discovered. Let us officially add you to the list. 1. Go to Jane's banner. 2. Find Jane. 3. Solve problems. 3A. Jane! Now, all we need is to follow my list, and the troubles will be over very soon. Oh, there's an axolotl! There's an axolotl! Why is there an axolotl? Why is it grinning ominously? I'm so confused. I see. I do not see. I think I am more confused than when I started, frankly. Obviously, what I need to do is find a subtle way to learn more about what he is intending. I am impressed by plans. I am impressed by plans. Since you make so many plans, you are very impressive. I do think I am very good at plans. Thank you for noticing. As an investigative genius, I was able to deduce your interest in lists as well. I always enjoy discussing plans and lists. I have lists of all my plans, and a list of the lists of my plans. It does mean I have less space for clothing, but luckily my father's old clothes can fit well under the papers. Come to think of it, I probably need a list of what lists I put the clothing under. It is very hard to find socks now. Wait, what? Why do you need lists for... Well, otherwise the sofa keeps eating them. You have to have enough lists that if a sofa is attacking you, you can fight them off with a spare list so they do not eat your finger instead. Make sure not to get the list and the finger confused. My uncle made that mistake. That is why they call him the three-toed bald koozie. So somehow when he put out his finger instead of a list, he lost both his toes and his hair? No, but he lost the plan for keeping people from noticing his hair loss. I am so glad you understand how important it is to plan for luxurious hair. This man is ridiculous. That is something important to remember. I am glad that you are smart enough to... I no longer regret giving him this accent. I'll be so real. I am glad that you are smart enough to understand my plans, Jen. Look at my very complicated list and how much I have done. I went to your manor. I found you. Now, I solve problems. It is a little more challenging to have you on the list as well, but I will find a way to make it work. Maybe I should have given him a Russian accent, actually. Like that time we decided to learn how to do sword dancing. Sword dancing? We trained in sword dancing? Do you not remember when we decided to learn sword dancing? Of course I do. How could I forget that unforgettable time we decided to learn sword dancing? Of course I do not. What kind of romance novel features sword dancing? I'm going to accidentally murder myself if he hands me a sword. How can I possibly pretend to be Jane Neville, who frankly seems more amazing by the minute? All I need to do is be subtle, and I should be able to avoid his suspicions. Yes, sword dancing, my absolute favorite hobby. It is unfortunate that we do not have any swords nearby to practice it again. Sword dancing would have been such a great part of our training regime. However, I am sure we can cope with this disappointment bravely. Very bravely. Extremely bravely. With graceful bravery almost to the height of the house's wainscoting. You like sword dancing, Jen? But after we destroyed the gazebo, the hedge, and your father's beard, you told me that you never wanted to see me pricking anything ever again. Then you added, no swords either. But if you like swords... Well, I'm going to Jane's Manor 2, find Jane. 3, solve problems. Jane, 3A1, sword dancing. This will be very helpful for solving problems. I am sure it will. Was the problem with that list truly the lack of sword dancing? I will obviously need to sharpen my investigative genius if I hope to survive in Jane Neville's body. Who knew romance novels involved so much sword dancing? I suppose that sword training makes sense, given how many enemies a villainess must have. Let us hope that Izel's cunning plan is to not have me murder myself. Or is not to have me murder myself. I am excited to see your sword handling skills again. In any case, moving away from my overwhelming passion for training with large, dangerous objects, would you like to go into the house, Duke Izel? It must have been a long ride here. Surely you need to rest and refresh yourself. Then, while he is resting and refreshing, I can go to the stables, steal his horse, and ride away to safety. If I'm going to live up to Lady Jane's reputation as a villainess, this is the best way to do it. After all, I truly do not want to demonstrate my non-existent sword dancing skills. Even if Izel does plan to train me, it would be hard to continue training sword skills that do not exist. Oh, I understand. When I want something, I think everyone else wants the same thing too. If you are hungry, Jin, I will go make sure that food is prepared for you. We always work up quite an appetite together. I will brave the hedge for you, Jane. I will make sure I can feed your appetite. I do feel a little sorry for you guys all. No, Izel, since he keeps calling me Jane. He's very earnest and obviously not as subtle as I am. I wonder if his angelic face and sweet words hide something more sinister. Perhaps it is time to think things over. So far I have seen 2 men on this estate. It makes sense that one of them would be Jane's fiancé, and the other her patron. So is the very relatable and very normal Izel Jane's helpful patron, or is he her cruel fiancé? How can I possibly tell, especially without letting these men know that I do not remember Lady Jane's past? How can I tell without letting them know that I am not Lady Jane? What will these men do if they realize I am not Lady Jane? I think I need to find a horse to steal. To the stables! I just need to find the stables first. Were the stables always at the end of this pathway? Never mind. If life makes it easier to steal a horse, you do not ask too many questions. So where are the horses hiding? Between the carriage that brought me here and however anyone else arrived, there must be at least one horse here. Oh my god, the horse speaks! Oh, okay. Are you looking for... No, I know what voice I need to give the horse. Are you looking for me? No, I refuse to believe I read that kind of novel. Why would I read novels about enchanted animals that need a kiss to turn back into attractive men? This is obviously a mistake of some kind. I am obviously so grateful to see you that my desire to mount you is overwhelming my common sense. Well, Jane, I can certainly take you for a ride if that is what you want. Yes. Dot, dot, dot. Surely I did not have such bad taste in my past. I would know if I had such a strong desire for horse flesh. Who actually wishes to kiss a horse to get a worthy man? I am not sure I qualify as a stallion, but I will take the compliment. Why on earth would I ride a stallion? I thought you were a guilty... Jane, maybe you should look just slightly farther over. Oh, thank God, the horse was not the one who was talking. Is this Gale? It's fucking Gale! He looks like Gale Gallia! Not horse. Okay, I'm not gonna let him No, you gotta commit to the voice though, no feminine, yeah. No, okay. I have missed you, Jane. I've given all of these people ridiculous voices. Yay! Ben? Thank goodness. I was afraid you were going to call me Lord Buren for the rest of my life. It is good to hear you say my name again. Ben Buren, only son of Duke Buren, childhood friend and neighbor of Jane Neville. Oh, so this is the childhood friend. I am forced to realize that I truly do have an incredible memory for attractive men. And nothing else. Did Ben's exposed collarbone hypnotize me so much that I immediately blurted out a name that could only be used by someone very close to him? Ben is not upset, but I need to be less suspicious. Perhaps I can suddenly change the subject. You look well, and not like someone who is about to murder me. That is true, although I am amazed that you can see me through all these petals. Why are there petals floating in a stable, anyway? I have no idea. Maybe someone was storing potpourri in the rafters and the packets fell off when you came here? Those scented flower packets stink. Does that mean I am going to spend the rest of my life smelling like the inside of a drawer? Think of it this way, Ben. What other foul-smelling objects could be floating through the air in a stable? His fucking goofy-ass smile! This is the hottest character and I gave him the stupidest voice! Point taken! I will complain about the petals no further, even if they continue raining down on me. Have you tried nicely asking the house to stop? For instance, you could say, "Please stop making me smell like the inside of my mother's linen closet." That is much better. Though your flower fall was too cruel a punishment for so small a sin, it was not my fault you mistook me for a horse. Or mistook me for horse. Though I am impressed that you managed to control those petals. I do not know why Ben thinks I did something to make the petals stop. Has he not tried asking the house for what he wants? When I said I wanted things, the house has occasionally responded. I assume this is both because I ask for what I want and because it helps advance this terrible story's plot. Still, if Ben has not learned how to work with the house, I might have an advantage over him. If he tries to murder me, I can summon one of my endless apples, and the loud crunchy noises will distract him long enough for me to flee. However, before I make plans to run, I need to make him think I am sweet and useless, so he does not suspect me. It was cruel of you to pretend that animals can speak. To be fair, it was hard to reach you faster than Horse. He has always been bizarrely fond of you. Horse? Oh no, Jane! You do not get to pretend you did not name him. If I have had to explain that name for 14 years, you cannot forget that you forced me to choose it. Well, he seems to like the name. That is because Horace is, as I said, bizarrely fond of you. I assume it is because you have something special to attract him, and I have one guess. What do you use to wash your hair? Horace is always so eager to sample it. So Horace does not want to murder me. This might help me eventually. Horace also has better taste in women than Jane's former fiancé, who I still do not remember. Of course, Ben's presence complicates the question of who Jay's fiancé is, but that is a thought for later. Right now, I need to decide just how friendly I want to be with the potpourri horseman, given who he might be in the story. Should I not have soaked my hair in oats? Should I not have soaked my hair in oats? Your commitment to beauty standards and animal care is what I most admire about you. Although I suspect that your hair could attract more than Horse. Oh my god, okay, laying it on thick, I see. Truly, attracting Horse wasn't an accident, really. I have been trying to lure squirrels to do my bidding. Wait, why on earth would I want to lure squirrels to do my bidding? Why on earth would you want to lure squirrels to do your bidding? His fucking look of disgust! Squirrels are nasty, terrifying creatures who will kill you with a blank look in their beady little eyes. Ben? I see! You plan to use bloodthirsty squirrels against your enemies! By the blood, the way your mind works makes me dizzy with amazement at my brilliance. Yes, amongst other things. Ignoring your brilliance, if you still are worried about attracting Horse, you need not be concerned. Your hair is lovely, with or without an additional scent. Almost as lovely as it is to see you again. You are so... I am so... Have you lost your voice? Are the words you are thinking too disturbing to share? Of course not. It's just that Horace missed you. Would Horace be flattered to know that I missed him too? I will have to thank him personally. Oh, he's a dumbass. I love him. Where is Horse? I could have sworn he was right beside me. Oh, he is very clever. Horse managed to find himself an open stall with food where he can still stare lovingly at you. Yeah, he's right there in the background. I can see him, and he is staring. I could have sworn that stall had bars in front of it. Surely Horse is not capable of removing bolted planks with his teeth. I need to pay more attention to my surroundings. I obviously am imagining things when I need to remember what I see. As it is, I need to be polite but distant with Ben until I remember more. It is important that I do not say anything that could be misinterpreted as cruel or cold. I hope your heavy weight did not inconvenience poor Horse, since you rode him all the way here. Trust me, Jane, I did not inconvenience Horse in the least. Horse is very fond of my weight. Are you also fond of my inconvenient weight? Oh my god, I'm actually so charmed by him, and I gave him this fuck-ass voice. Is this a threat? Is Ben threatening to squash me with his bulk, or aim other parts of his body at me? Girl! Those collarbones qualify as dangerous weapons, and those bare forearms are also alarming. Look at how muscular and powerful they are. Girl, you are just... Oh my god. Surely there is some way to defeat Ben's cunning plan to overwhelm me with his body. I'm losing my damn mind. What the fuck is this game? What am I reading? What is happening? Why is Gail Gallion here? I have no idea how much I have missed you. Oh no, that was the wrong choice. I should have called him a clown. It is Gail Gallion. Is the circus missing its clown? Is the circus missing its clown? After all, I am not sure who else would have so many jokes to share. You wound me, Jane. I like to think of myself as more of a well-dressed fool. Are you trying to make me let down my guard? You are obviously no fool. I am glad that you agree that I am well-dressed. On the other hand, while I may not be a fool, I am no clown either. After thinking about it, I have to agree. You are not nearly as amusing as me. Jane, you once asked me, what do you call a fly without wings? And then immediately answered, a walk, without pausing for breath. Fly, walk. That is brilliant. I was a creative genius. Nobody can tell a joke like I can. You know what? I agree. Jokes aside, I am glad that you found a slightly less used outfit to wear. It makes it much easier for us to frolic in this delightful estate that only appears to be partially on the verge of collapse. I am impressed that you noticed my change in clothes. Wait. Does this mean Ben saw me in my previous outfit? This changes things because there are only a few people who could have seen me in that ragged dress. Still, is he possibly referring to some other outfit? I need to pay attention to what he says. Now that I am living in this manner, as it beautifully falls apart around my ears, I need to dress appropriately. Does that mean your dress comes equipped with a shield for falling bricks? Bricks? It is the wainscoting you should fear. Oh, he's laughing. Ben, you need to breathe as well as laugh. I remember Ben. Something in me knows him. I know that Jane grew up with him and spent countless hours in his company. I remember nearly nothing about Jane, but I remember Ben. So why am I so afraid to trust him? I need to see if I can get an actual non-joking answer from him. Ben, you are not here to judge my fashion choices, so why are you here? Jane, you wound me. I always have time for your fashion choices. If Duke Buren will not let me wear a lace-covered gown, then who but you could model it for me? I can see why your father would object. If you continue to show as much skin as you do, the lace would have to be attached to your flesh. So you can understand why I urgently needed to see you. I actually do not. Why are you here, Ben? Where else would I be? I will always race to be by your side whenever you need me. So you had decided that I needed you? I had hoped you needed me. Once I have settled horse, we need to speak seriously. I have never ridden as hard or as fast as I did today. Once horse is well, we need time to discuss all that has happened. Preferably over a cup of tea, assuming, of course, that the tea in the matter is not as decayed as literally everything else here. Well, I could eat the apple, so hopefully the tea will be fine. Maybe I can impress Ben with my courage or my knowledge of the house. I'm not afraid of tea, or no need for tea, I have apples. No need for tea, I have apples. That was not the right choice. I am not afraid of tea. I am not afraid of tea. I am glad you're willing to risk potential poisoning to spend time with me. I am flattered beyond belief. Yes, I am very brave, and I do not already know that the tea will be perfectly safe to drink. Well, you will get a chance to show your bravery soon enough if I do not tend to horse immediately. What do you mean? Does he need new tack? I think I saw some saddles off to the side. I will check their condition. Some of these might actually be useful if you can ignore the strange length of the stirrups. Oh no, Jane, I think you will get to test your courage sooner than I expected. What do you mean? Horse. I knew horse would not be able to resist the smell of your hair for long. I always wished to be showered with spittle from a horse's mouth. I finally get to live out my deepest fantasies. I hope I can help you revise your fantasy slightly. However, I will need to settle horse again before we can speak. Yes, after you care for horse, come to the manor. Make sure to stable horse first. I do not want to have tea mixed with horse spittle. It is obvious we have a lot to discuss. I think I will take horse for a quick ride because he is too worked up to immediately put him in the stall. You seem to understand him very well. Take him for a good ride. Just know that I will waste no time taking the best tea desserts for myself. I would expect no less from you. After all, time is a terrible thing to waste. Wait. Time is a terrible thing to waste. Multiple people have said that now. Ben, are you here to... Oh no. Oh no. I need to go wash my hair. Now. I told you that the scent is not... See you for tea! Now I need to think. By the blood, what happened during those final moments with Ben? We were having a perfectly pleasant, horse-spittle-soaked conversation when all of a sudden... There are shadows in the background. What's happening in the background? My head began to ache, and I heard Ben's voice say, "Time is a terrible thing to waste," in an oddly distorted voice. That was not even the worst of it. Immediately after Ben spoke, I heard my voice say, "Ben, are you here to..." Only that was not my voice, was it? It was the voice of the actual Jane Neville, the villainess who should be trying to survive this terrible story. Who is in the fucking background? Unfortunately, the villainess could not just tell me what Ben had planned. Lady Jane said, "Ben, are you here to..." But what was Ben here to do? Help me? Murder me? Serenade me with a song about horses' eating habits? Are you sure those are the only things Ben Buren might do? Oh, you again. Well, it seemed as if you could use a sympathetic ear, and perhaps some other assistance. I thought you had planned to leave me alone to make my own choices that I would regret forever. I am not sure that is exactly what I said, but I am not making your choices for you. I am here to listen. Honestly, it is nice to talk to someone who cannot murder me. Even if the only reason you cannot murder me is because you do not appear to have a body and have sworn to no longer control mine. If you could stop reminding me that literally everything and everyone here can murder me, everyone else here can murder me, we would get along very well. I will avoid providing more warnings, for now. I am more interested in your thoughts. I have so many thoughts. For one, I thought I understood what was happening with Ben until I heard both his voice and my voice in my mind. Now I have to worry about Ben being the male lead. This is despite the fact that childhood friends are supposed to be loving but ultimately disposable in terrible romance novels. Until I heard those voices, I was convinced that the childhood friend could never win over the heroine. Thus, Ben could never be the former fiancé who betrayed Lady Jane. Well, he's not her childhood friend, he's your childhood friend. Did you not see Lord Buren's collarbones? I admit that it was a terrible mistake not to take Ben's collarbones into account. However, I was too hypnotized by them myself to realize the danger. So you realize Ben Buren is a potential danger to you? Well, no, because the situation is even more confusing than it was before my vision. According to what I understand, there should be 2 men involved in this story. One of these men should be the fiancé who betrayed me, and the other should be the patron who saved me. As for who Ben is, Ben, are you here to, could be followed by help me or harm me, so he could fit either of those roles. So it will be easy to determine which role Ben Buren fits. But that is the problem. Ben, the childhood friend, is not the only man in this matter. I also met Edmund the Crown Prince and Isel the Duke of the North. So now I must deal with 3 men and 2 roles. That seems like a very confusing math problem. Yes, especially since I have no idea why I have a 3rd wild card here. I do not even know which man is my patron and which is my fiancé, so what am I supposed to do with a 3rd? Make him my hedge trimmer? It seems as though you could use a guide who could help you. Are you volunteering for the role? I am always willing to give you a nudge in the proper direction. Does this nudge involve taking control of my body, as you did when you made me run from Prince Edmund? Would you not have run from him anyway? Perhaps I would have. Perhaps I would not. Either way, the choice should have been mine. Why should it matter if the choice is yours or mine, if the choices are the same? The person making the choice matters most of all. If I must live through a wretched story that seems determined to torture me, I need to control my own destiny. Even if you mean well, even if you are truly trying to help me, even if you are right, I must be the person who controls my fate. I do not understand. When I made you run, you called it a terrible choice. Yet you believe it was a good choice when you ran on your own? Well, yes, I am perfectly capable of making terrible choices on my own. I never denied that. Sometimes the choices I make will be terrible, or will seem terrible to someone like you. But they are still my choices. This is my life I am risking. What happens to me must be my responsibility. This fucking ominous man in the background. So you would rather do something foolish on your own than something wise under my direction? I am afraid that I do not understand. Look, it seems as if you wish to help me. Goodness knows you might be the only one. However, you can help me by respecting that I would rather bet my life on my own investigative genius than be someone else's puppet. I will take responsibility for my own actions and for my fate. However, I will always be grateful for your wise suggestions and advice. Oh my god, he's hidden in a hedge. Does that mean I can still send you ominous warnings once in a while? Only as long as they are the most ominous warnings. That seems fair. Beware of strangers bearing bushes! Now that was a good warning. I am now ready to proceed somewhere. So shall I just walk the hedge until I find somewhere else? Hold on, let me check love. Oh. That looks as good a place as any. Hopefully I shall eventually find some food that is not apples on my journey. Let me check love. Slowly slide into frame. Hi, Adam. Stone scraping sound effects. How does the house manage to look ominous during the day? Surely there are no end of ominous objects here. If I remember the ominous voice's warning, then I should also check one object in particular. Are you a naughty bush? No, you do not seem to be carried by a stranger. You seem to be an ordinary boxwood bush. Still, that does not mean you cannot be naughty. I will be keeping my eye on you. Okay, well, whatever voice I commit to for this bush could eventually turn out to be a man, so... Uh, I am a bad, bad bush. I do not think I am very naughty. Nobody thinks they are naughty. Well, technically, I have heard small children say that they have been naughty before they start shrieking and spill strange liquids on me. I am very confused. Well, is that not how the bush got stumped? It could not get to the root of the problem. I was wondering how such an overgrown bush could be the lead of a romance, but you could charm anyone with your amazing sense of humor. I do not think I am that unshaven. It's the fucking prince! Why do I keep thinking that objects are talking to me? The fact that he fucking sparkles, I gave him this deep ass voice. You are the shiniest bush I have ever seen. It is naughty to blind people with your light. You should have saved the Swedish accent for this guy. No, I think I chose correctly. I think I chose correctly. I do realize this guy has the blonde hair and the blue eyes, but that guy was ridiculous. He was ridiculous with his lists. But I think if I could reassign, maybe I would give him the Swedish accent. I would give the Duke the Master Detective accent, and I would give Gail Gallion the deep voice I just gave this dude. The Swedish people love their lists. Yes, they do. Shiny. Do you mean that all the metal on me is shiny? I suppose even if you are a strange male lead, you still need to have some kind of fancy decoration somewhere. Girl, it's not the bush speaking, it's the fucking crown prince! This is a gorgeous manor. Is the metal you just mentioned reflecting enough light to interfere with your vision? If it bothers you, I will reduce the reflection. Thank you for the advice. My god, look at him! Oh, he's so shiny, it's almost annoying. Girl is not very smart. Oh, his yaoi hands. Yeah. His yaoi hands. Prince Edmund? I called the Crown Prince of Carcosa a naughty bush after previously running away from him. Even if he was already planning to murder me, surely now he wants me dead. Please, Jane, could you please call me Edmund again? Are the men in this novel very cunning or just strangely unbothered by insults? All the better for me. I just need to handle the situation very subtly and there will not be any problems. Hello, Edmund. I was definitely not at all concerned that you were going to murder me on the spot. I am happy to call you by the name I definitely remember calling you. Edmund? Girl, your subtlety score has been -17 so far. So here's a fun fact. In the description for this game, they described the villainess, they described the lead as neurodivergent. They have written her to be neurodivergent. In what way? I do not know. But she's supposed to be neurodivergent. I think she's just a little stupid, but, you know. Explain too much, LMAO. Yeah, no, there's definitely some parts earlier where the way that she logics through things is very, like, it's... Honestly, I think you know who I'm thinking of. Hello, Jane. I too am behaving... hello, Jane. I too am behaving very normally. I am not at all nervous about seeing you again. I also definitely did not crouch down in a bush to be able to look you in the eye. Oh. Oh no. Oh, I'm charmed by him. Oh, this is awful. It was perfectly normal for us to stare at one another through a bush for a long period of time. Bushes are very interesting. Absolutely. There is nothing like a lush bush to make someone want to stare and sink their face into it. Like we did. Okay, Adam, you weren't here for it, but this game is like chock full of innuendo. Like, the fucking servant at that manor talking about how he admires people who can handle difficulties that are both long and hard, and they talking about a lot of hardwood, and like, is she gonna sink her face right in that lush bush? The fucking Duke talking about sticking women. Putting any hard objects inside her or anybody else's body. Like, it's genuinely endless innuendo. Like, the tone of this game is so strange because it has, like, this crazy innuendo. It has this, like, I believe he kept saying, yeah, pricking. He's saying pricking. It has this crazy innuendo. It also has all of this obviously very like meta self-referential humor with like talking to the narrator or this ominous kind of third voice. But then like sometimes it becomes straight up like horror. Like the visual effects or the way that they like jump scare you is like actually kind of horror coded, right? So this is some strange mixture between like a raunchy comedy thing and like actually a horror novel. They're very odd tone. This is going very well. Still, I will have to be careful because Edmund seems to be nearly as subtle as I am. So, Edmund, we have somehow met yet again. Is there a reason you have come to see me? I have Many reasons. I think my thing is I can't clock when the guys are talking some kind of way because they're weird versus when they talk weird because it's a bad book according to the protag. Yeah. Yeah. Too many reasons to speak of right now, Jane. At least not before we have some tea. Anyway, in happier news, you look very healthy, Jane, and not as though you planned to run from me. I definitely am not planning to run. I am definitely planning to run. Just not in front of someone who could easily have me beheaded. I see the guillotine enough in my dreams. I do not need to see it in reality. Lol. After all, royalty can be very unstable. I'm not sure why I know that, but it feels true to me. I am glad. After all, I was able to find you because I knew you would be running in circles, since it is too hard to run in squares. You have such a great sense of humor. So do you. I am so glad to laugh with you again. Perhaps this meeting can be more pleasure than pain. Ah! A chance for me to be witty or to suddenly express my concerns. Only if you keep your blade sheathed, I try to bring more pleasure than pain. Brother! I'm losing my fucking mind. Well, I'm gonna go back and choose the right choice anyway, so... That was not the right choice. Only if you keep your blade sheathed. I try to bring more pleasure than pain. I'm pleased to hear that, although technically pleasure is a form of pain. That is incredibly alarming. I mean, interesting to hear. I should take you to see my drawings sometime. They are very informative about a variety of subjects. What do your secret drawings show? How fast can I run if his drawings demonstrate that Edmund takes pleasure in giving pain? Perhaps his beauty distracts vulnerable young ladies before he sheathes his blade in them. Or maybe he's just like into some light BDSM. Maybe he's into some light BDSM. Is that such a crime? Is it such a crime to be into some light BDSM? There are a lot of topics, although some of the drawings are incomplete. Perhaps you would like to finish the bird? It already has a head, a body, and feet, so you can just wing it. You are fiendishly clever, Edmund Alpin, but I will not be fooled. If you try to demonstrate that you enjoy pain, you will feel my boot against your throat. Boy! Clocked him! That would bring more pleasure than pain, my lady. Oh, you want to be domed so badly. Crown Prince, look at that blush. Oh, it's always the ones in power, isn't it? It's always the ones in power. He is blushing so furiously. I want to crush him. Okay. What do you mean? Are you saying that I do not have the strength to mount you? Oh my fucking god. Are you saying I do not have the strength to mount you effectively? You're welcome for that soundbite, everybody. Cheers. Cheers. Are you saying I do not have the strength to mount you effectively? But said with a completely straight face. Jesus Christ. Just that having you on top of me is always a pleasure. No, no. Which of these three men is the bigger idiot? Because honestly, none of them have seemed very smart, and I'm struggling to imagine that any of them plotted to kill this woman. Maybe they all plotted to kill her. Maybe that's the answer. What? I really like hardwood. Did you know how much of it there? Did you know how much of it there is on this estate? If you wonder what's happening to the tracking of my model, it's that I keep pausing to to drop my face into my hands because I'm just like, uh... yes, yes, we spoke at length with the servant about the wainscoting. Pardon me? I was able to get a much better look at how unusual the designs of the manor were when I was trapped in the entrance to this place. Trapped? What do you mean? I tried to follow after when you left, but the door closed and then locked behind you. On the positive side, by the time I was able to exit, I had memorized the design of the wainscoting. It is an interesting pattern. Did you know that there is wainscoting on the ceiling? Unfortunately, yes. However, I want to know more about how you were trapped. It was very strange. The door refused to open when I tried it. Then, once I had focused my attention entirely on the most delightful molding, I turned around and the door was wide open. I went out and you were nowhere to be seen, but then there you were. Did you run because you were attacked by the cap molding? It did look very suspicious, even if it is beautiful. Edmund is obviously very clever to notice the danger and beauty of the wainscoting, but does that mean he is telling the truth about what happened to him? Did the house truly prevent him from coming after me when the choice to run was made for me? Does that mean the house will no longer help me if I will not accept the voice's help? I cannot go any longer without knowing this. For some reason, the apple I had saved in my dress has disappeared, so... Apple! Where? Jane? I need an apple! I could see if there are some in the pantry, in the manor. No need! The house still loves me. I'm very interested in hearing more about your thoughts on this house and how you managed to conceal an apple in that dress. My thoughts on the house? Yes, this manor does not seem to be using the design I had suggested, so I was wondering if you knew of any good areas to visit. I have always enjoyed our debates about architecture. Well, that was because you enjoyed seeing me get so excited that I jumped higher than a house. Because a house cannot jump. I am going to enjoy spending time with you, Jane. Edmund Plus has spent time with me here. Why? I need to find more information. Are you here to solve mysteries? Or are you here to stop my evil? I'm curious what happens if I say, are you here to stop my evil? That's not the right answer, obviously, but... Edmund here is sorry for doing villainous actions because he's the male lead of this novel. Okay, no. Are you here to... Oh my god, return. Are you here to solve mysteries? Are you here to solve mysteries? After all, what could be more mysterious than who is trying to kill Lady Jane Devil? Though how the house has an endless supply of apples is also very suspicious. Perhaps Edmund is here to solve mysteries about myself or the house? Oh, I understand. Edmund has already proven that he is cunning and clever. Perhaps he is also an investigative genius. Perhaps Edmund is even the patron who saved me because he needed another investigative genius to help solve these mysteries. Be honest, Edmund. Are you here to solve mysteries or to investigate the dangers of wainscoting? Jane, you are as brilliant as ever. How do you know that I was here to solve mysteries and destroy problems? Nobody understands subtlety like I do. I am concerned about your focus on problems, though. You do not have a list, do you? A list? I usually just solve problems in my head. Then you are an investigative genius, too. I am. I am so flattered to hear you compare me to yourself. I have always dreamed of being as perceptive as you. You two are perfect for each other, actually. It is as pleasing as seeing that I have improved my jokes enough to satisfy your sophisticated sense of humor. Of course I appreciate your jokes. After all, no one could be more talented than either of us in either investigation or comedy. Still, as brilliant as we both are, we will need to make maps and sketch out suspects. What would happen if we could not tell a suspicious piece of wainscoting from a suspicious dresser? I only hope that you are as good of an artist as you are an investigative genius. Do not worry, Jane. I will always be able to draw conclusions. I am glad that I will be working with you. However, I do want to know something, Edmund. I would be happy to sketch you whenever you choose. That would be... no, I will not be distracted. Why exactly are you here? I'm here to make sure you get into no further trouble. The only way I will not get into further trouble is if I am dead. Does this mean he plans to kill me? Or at least that you only get into trouble with me. Trouble with you? Are you planning to cause my problems to mount? No, I intend to cause perfectly innocent trouble. Trouble that does not involve mounting in any way. My mind is always making perfectly innocent plans. Oh my... bro! Bro wants her to ride him so badly. What sort of plans are you speaking of? Our plans. After all, we always love discussing our plans for the country together. Did you know that the wainscoting in the parlor of our kingdom's palace was first designed in... Edmund and I had plans for the country? What was our relationship to one another? The only people who plan together are people who are intimately involved. Was I his investigative genius? Did I serve as an aide to the crown? Was he my fiancé? Jane, are you all right? You seem lost in thought. Pardon me? Forgive me, but have you forgotten our past plans? Did your time in prison harm your memory? Edmund knows that I was in prison. This is an alarming thought for later, but I have an even more alarming immediate concern. I cannot let anyone know I do not remember this terrible story, or even more importantly, that I am not actually Lady Jane Neville. Edmund must never realize that I am not the Lady Jane that he once knew. He and the other men might end up pricking me with their swords if they learn that I am not the woman they want me to be. Pricking me with their swords. Pricking me with their swords. Their long and hard swords. Okay. I'm going through all stages of grief at the same time. How can I subtly distract Edmund from his suspicions? Our plans make me dizzy with joy. You are my best plan. Let's try our plans make me dizzy with joy. Our plans make me dizzy with joy. They do? I am lightheaded at the very thought of our many, no doubt amazing plans that I definitely remember and do not fear at all. So you would be happy to draft that 37-page report on the condition of linen in the poorest communities in Carcosa? Of course! I love reports! And linen! I love neither reports nor linen. Jane Neville was brave beyond my understanding if she was willing to wear coarse linen and write about the experience. And then, once we have crept out of the dark alley and avoided potential death, we can... What? Once the squirrels get involved, they will be unable to resist supporting our demands, since we can no longer count on the... What? When you swing down into the royal audience chamber with the children singing behind you, I know you can avoid the Shadow Guard and their deadly poisons, because we practiced. Edmund. Yes? Edmund, I think it best that I keep track of which plans that we should be following. I am dizzy with delight at the thought of revising them. Will this make Edmund angry? Will he pull out his well-polished blade to prick me now? Even if it angers Edmund, I cannot allow a plan that involves both singing children and squirrels. I am so glad, Jane. I am so glad and so grateful. I have missed... I will follow any plans you want, Jane. Any plans at all. Are you sure about that, Edmund? After all, if you do not understand one of my plans, we might not be able to use it. I might need to explan it. Plans or explans. I am happy to follow your lead, Jane. As you should. Are you sure we cannot use the squid? No. I cannot tell if Edmund's insistence on rodents is because he has a cunning plan to test whether or not I am Jane Neville, or because he needed someone like me to make plans for him. Either way, I must come up with a way to stop Edmund from suspecting me. Unfortunately, he is the most subtle man I have met so far. While I enjoy speaking with you, I am exhausted from all that has happened to me. It has been so challenging to fight off both the wainscoting and my very real memories of being in prison that I cannot think of anything but my pain. The terrible, terrible pain in my heart when I realize that I will never again be able to dance the beautiful sword dance of my heart without thinking of all that has passed. You can sword dance? You can sword dance well? Was it only Izel who was interested in sword dancing? Edmund actually has a blade he is constantly polishing, so I assumed that he would enjoy sword dancing as well. If I am wrong, I must stop Edmund's doubts immediately. Not anymore, not after my deep, deep sorrow. You see, I feel the deepest sorrow at the thought of being pricked. No pricking. I would not even dream of pricking anything, let alone you, constantly. Oh, my... That is very good to hear. Still, Jane, you hate dancing, so why would you mention sword... My pain, it has become even deeper. Forgive me. No, forgive me. I am so sorry, Jane. I should have remembered all that you have suffered. I do not blame you, Edmund. No one could possibly know all the terror I have experienced. Mostly from the thought of ominous cushions or falling wainscoting. Or all the pain I have suffered. Who would not have a sore neck after being trapped in a carriage going nowhere for a long period of time? Or the trials I have faced. Despite what the house seems to think, apples are not actually a full meal. That is not even considering the trial of being pulled into a terrible story that makes no sense. I should be weeping. In rage. Oh, Jane, I truly regret all the pain you have experienced and all the cruelties you have endured. If there's anything I can do to help you... I am sure you would do whatever you could to help me, Edmund, though perhaps we could speak of something better than bitter memories. Especially since I do not remember these bitter memories. Of course, Jane. As always, I would gladly do anything you ask me to. In truth, Yes, Edmund? I am grateful that after all we have been through, we are reunited once again. However, I am most grateful that you are once again Jane in all ways. Jane in all ways? What does that even mean? I was so worried that... Yes? What were you worried about, Edmund? In some ways. In some ways. Edmund? Are you well? Yes, I am. More importantly, I was worried. I just hope that neither of us need to experience what we went through again in the future. I hope not. With luck, I can avoid further difficulties in the future, no matter how many bad romance novels I was foolish enough to read. Bad romance novel? Never mind. Just remember that I am definitely the Jane you have always known. How could Edmund not be convinced by my incredible display of subtlety? Now is my chance to be even more subtle and convince him to help me leave this house. If you like the Jane who you know I most definitely am, I have an even better suggestion. Once I am away from this house, I can continue being a perfectly normal Jane each and every day. Yes, I, too, am the Edmund you have always known, unless you want me to be a different Edmund, in which case... Wait! Away from this house? Jane, you know it will be some time before... Before what, Edmund? Before tea? Before the wainscoting eats us? Or do you mean... before I can leave here? Jane, you are free to do as you wish here. I know this place might not be as you are used to, but if there is anything I can do to comfort you... Comfort me? Edmund, I know that you're trying to help, but do you know what would comfort me? Probably not me telling you a joke about the difference between a hedgehog and a sheathed sword? Oh, what is the On a hedgehog, the pricks are on the outside. No, you cannot distract me with your comedic genius. Be honest, Edmund. Why can I not leave this house as I please? Jane, I have no more ways to persuade you. However, please remember that I promised you that you would not regret trusting me, even if your father, my father. Yes, your father and mother would both want. Why should I care what they want? After all, the beloved family of Jane Neville has already demonstrated how much they care for her. Yes, your family has definitely shown how much they care for you. By not helping me when I needed them the most, and now leaving me to stay in a strange house in the middle of nowhere with a man who speaks of nothing but pricking. Is that how you see the situation? Why does my head hurt? Why does my heart hurt? Oh, Edmund. Why did the clock fail to become a chef? Because he ran out of time. I do not know how much time I have to prove myself to you, Jane, but I promise I will do everything I can to be worthy of your trust. Trust. I trust that you can make me smile. I will do everything I can to bring joy in all ways, my lady. I do not care what it costs me. Why did I say that? Why did he say that? What is going on here? I need Edmund to leave so I can think. Shall we head back to the house? I'm truly exhausted and want nothing more than a cup of tea. I will be happy to arrange that. Surely there must be an unmolded tea bag somewhere in this place. Perhaps it is hiding in the baseboards. Or you could just ask a servant. However, if Edmund wishes to find the tea bag himself as part of a cunning plan to determine what I have been doing, that gives me more time to recover. Then I shall wish you luck on your adventure, Edmund. Make sure to prepare a delicious tea for us. If you can bring a dozen little cakes as well, I may even forget what pain is. I will do my best. The manners wainscoting will hide nothing from me. Unfortunately, if Edmund does look there, all he shall find are apples. Still, so long as Edmund leaves, I can even sacrifice some delicious tea cakes. What is most important is getting him out of my way. Just a little more subtle flattery should do it. How very brave and princely of you to search through the house's wainscoting. You are a true knight in shining armor. All those lovable maidens must adore a prince who can fetch them some tea. I am not so sure about that, Jane. I have not always served lovable maidens as well as I would have liked. By serve, does Edmund mean for dinner? Did I read cannibal romances in my past life? No, I do not think there are cannibal romances. Romance readers would not want the male lead to devour the heroine. So Edmund saying that he has not always served lovable maidens must refer to something else. Something that I must investigate later. Still, I will do as you ask me to, Jane. I want you to make yourself at home here, especially since, well, there has always been something haunting about you, Jane. And now that you are here, you fit this place so perfectly. Is Edmund trying to insult me or compliment me? His subtlety may be more powerful than I imagined. Being compared to the house should be an insult, since it is both murderous and decrepit. On the other hand, Edmund appears to think the house is beautiful. He even complimented the molding. Perhaps he is attracted to houses? I really need to figure out how hairy, horse-like, or house-like the heroine is. Perhaps that might provide another clue for who is the male lead of this novel. You look exhausted, Jane. Let me brave this house for you. I will find the little cakes of your dreams. Little cakes, here I come. So am I not supposed to follow after him? I thought you wished for a moment to think. Oh, is it time for another one of our chats again? Did you not wish to speak with me? I thought you welcomed our conversations. It is pleasant to speak with you when you are not reminding me of my imminent doom. However, we did not speak at all that long ago. Does that mean you are here with an ominous warning? You are very good at ominous warnings. No. Is it a cryptic message? I'm already so confused that a cryptic message would not upset me further, so provide the message. Fine. I might have been curious about your thoughts. My thoughts? Are you curious about whether I have found even more murderous objects or had any more ominous revelations? I do think I should be wary of the naughty bush. Who do you find the most attractive? What? Who do you find the most attractive? What? Why is the world going dark? Brother, Edmund, Izel, Ben, servant, or myself? Ben. I was very charmed by Edmund, but Ben kind of won me over with just his Gale-Galleonness. Do you believe that a childhood friend is a nice, safe choice for attraction? There's nothing nice about those collarbones. Have you seen how sharp they are? Besides, Ben's forearms alone are enough to hypnotize even the strongest of souls. Why are they bouncing? Did you see how his chest moved when he laughed? I know. Fucking. So you are actually attracted to Ben Buren. He has a horse. He has a beautiful smile, and when he laughs, I can see his muscles ripple. I did not expect you to be so self-aware of your own desires. So if I make Ben laugh hard enough, I can jump on a horse and ride off to escape because Ben's muscles will be too busy rippling for him to chase me. I knew it was too good to be true. Then again, Ben looks very athletic, and a horse likes to eat both my hair and apples. Perhaps Ben would be a better mount if I need a hard ride somewhere. Girl. Perhaps if I make Ben laugh hard enough, I can even ride him. Oh, my... I need this demo to end. To be fair, I suspect that mounting Ben Burn and taking him for a ride would solve a number of your problems. He really said, girl, get laid. Oh. Girl, you need to get laid. Seriously, though, what was that? I asked you a question and you answered like people do in conversation. Most people in normal conversations do not have choices whispered in their ear when a voice makes strange noises indicating that there is a time limit to reply. You did not like my musical indication of your remaining time? I have been told that my music is very unique. Oh, we can't hear the music. That is true, but why did you need to pressure me into a time limit anyway? This question did not seem like something that required me to think quickly. We couldn't hear it. Besides, I thought you were going to stop forcing my choices. I was not forcing your choice, I promise. You just what? I am very impatient. I cannot wait very long to know such important information. You think it is important to know who I am attracted to? I can understand the curiosity, since I am a very lovable lady who has excellent taste, and you probably wish to discuss your own attractions as well. Still, I am trying to avoid being murdered. I do not have time to contemplate how gorgeous everyone here is. I must focus on the danger around me, like the ominous warnings you previously provided. Danger? Like the danger hiding inside these men's trousers? Bro, I need this to stop. Losing my fucking mind. What are you talking about? Oh, you mean the security measures that I was taking when I was searching for ominous cushions? Searching for ominous cushions. Is that what you were doing when you were looking over the men's trouser fronts? Yes, there are only so many places even cunning men could store dangerous cushions to use as weapons. Trousers make the most sense. I'm very concerned about stuffing. That is a valid concern. Unfortunately, I could not find any cushions, no matter how hard I looked. So here I am, stuck with the potpourri horseman, the peeping hedgeman, and the human chandelier. So it seems. Can I not just lock them all in a room and have them prick each other? Your ability to find solutions to things that were not problems until you suggested them is remarkable. Like my investigative skills. No, your investigative skills truly are works of genius. See, we have much more interesting conversations when we focus on helpful ways for me to avoid danger. Why ask me stressful questions? So you are saying that if the question is focused on danger... What? Who is the most dangerous in the house? Edmund, Izel, Ben, servant, naughty Bush. I think servant. Servant. Interesting. You suspect the servant. What have they done to earn your distrust? Well, if you're going to disagree with my answer, you should not have given me such a ridiculous question. Forgive me, my lady. I was only trying to be of service to you. Were you? Truly? I only wanted you to examine the dangers you face. Then I shall accept your apology and tell you what my investigative genius has revealed about servant. First of all, in bad romance novels, the servants are always scheming to destroy the people they serve. That seems very unfair to a group of common-born people who must live by the whims of their cruel masters. Oh, I agree. I think it is very unfair to write common-born servants as cruel schemers out to hurt their noble masters. Even so, many terrible novels write butlers as scheming murderers and maids as terrifying creatures more obsessed with polishing swords than even Edmund. I'm not sure where common-born maids learn their sword skills, but they are obviously terrifying in these stories. I am sure that if you meet a maid in this house, they will be somewhat different. Does that mean the maid will not teach me how to prick people into submission? No, I will not be distracted. The servant is a major suspect because this terrible story would absolutely have someone say, the butler did it, and mean it. Besides, that is not the only reason I think the servant is highly dangerous. After all, during our very first meeting, servant said... Well, it is a beautiful hallway. You're welcome to stay in it as long as you... Sorry, I gave him a British accent. Well, it is a beautiful hallway. You are welcome to stay in it as long as you like. So long as you do not mind what comes out of the wallpaper when you close your eyes. How could that not be suspicious? You did not think their words were honest yet witty? You do not understand. I do believe servant was telling me the truth, and that terrifies me. What do you mean? Servant knows about the house and its dangers, so is servant trying to convince the house to work against me? Does servant want the house to devour me? That is not the only reason to be on guard around servant. Servant also said... In which case, the secret of this house is that we barely have the wainscoting under control. If servant is working with the wainscoting, I may be doomed. The very walls may attempt to swallow me. I admit that any fear of wainscoting is a reasonable fear. Exactly. Additionally, servant knows where I sleep and prepares my meals. If servant wants me dead, I will have to fight to avoid some horrible fate. Do you really believe servant is that powerful, and yet you plan to fight anyway? Servant may be gorgeous, brilliant, and about to charm every object from cushions, and able to charm every object from cushions to wainscoting, but I will never give up. I am temporarily Lady Jane Neville, and I will fight on the cushions. I will fight on the tea tables. I will even fight on the ceiling. I do believe, my lady, that you can turn the story upside down. Thank you, ominous voice, for helping me collect my thoughts. I admit that while I was skeptical about your question, it did help me focus my investigative genius. That achievement justifies everything that I just experienced. Still, while I am thankful for your support, I somehow feel worse than ever. After all, even if I know who the most suspicious and probably murderous being in this matter is, I have no concrete evidence against them and no way to defend myself should they attack me. What could I even do? Ask the house for a supply of apples to use as ammunition? If you continue to respect the wainscoting, that might be a viable strategy. But what if I do accidentally insult the wainscoting? What if I express the wrong kind of interest in hardwood? What happens to me if the house abandons me? My lady, Life and death are two leaves of the same vine. To grow the leaf you want, you must first seed the vine. I, appreciate your attempts at consolation, or even worse, advice. But even more than that, I would appreciate a murder weapon, one that I could use to fend off an attempt on my life. I see. Does that mean that you are willing to kill any of the inhabitants of this house should they try to harm you? If I am being truly honest, no. Yet that terrifies me, because I do not believe that my enemy would hesitate to kill me. Worse still, my enemy has to be one of these people who are pretending to care for me. It is cruel to be trapped in a narrative beyond your control. I thank you for your understanding. There is something horrifying about being trapped within a character that a story is determined to destroy. I do not understand why someone would enjoy creating a character doomed to be destroyed, no matter what that character did. Unfortunately, there are those who believe that in order for themselves to win, someone else must lose. What a cruel and wrong way to see the world. If my investigative genius succeeds, everyone around me succeeds. Why would anyone want to destroy that success? Well, some people are cruel and wrong. So what do you do when someone that terrible controls your fate? In the end, all anyone can do is make choices that reflect their values, and decide which companions should join them on their journey. But what if one of those companions wishes to destroy me? Will you take responsibility? Will you... I fucking knew it! I knew the title drop was coming! Save the villainess! This fucking Axolot... What is going on? It looks so creepy! Thank you for playing the Save the Villainess demo. Don't forget to wishlist us on Steam, join our Discord, and support our Kickstarter. Well, that was certainly an experience. That was certainly an experience. Let's go to my just chatting screen. Well, I don't really know what to say. I'm genuinely just like I don't know what to say. Like, what? I my flappers are gasted. It's such a strange tone. Such a strange tone. Such a strange sense of humor. Just very bizarre overall. Like, I, yeah, I'm having a hard time placing it, because it really is like it jumps from this like very raunchy sense of humor to like shit that's actually genuinely creepy, right? Like, I don't know, it's very strange. And I mean, like, maybe that's the point as well. Like, maybe that is part of why. Like, maybe it is intentionally jarring, but like, it's so strange. It's so bizarre. I don't know. I mean, here's the thing: this game isn't out yet, so obviously this was just a demo, and I don't think it actually has a release date. So, who knows? Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, super fascinating. Every one of those boys was a moron, except for the servant. I actually think the servants probably came across as the most intelligent. a thing that I was considering was whether, like, I don't know, the way Edmund was acting, I was like, are you also like an isekai person who's like trying to pretend you know what our history is? Just him being all like, oh yeah, I too am Edmund and I am acting very normally was kind of sus, but also I mean he could just be strange. I mean, a lot of them were just strange. And also the fucking person in the mask just like hiding in a bush. Scary. I Yeah, very bizarre. Very, 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 very bizarre. Um yeah, I don't know what else to say, man. Jesus Christ. Okay, let me think. Let me think. I am thinking. I am thinking. God, I am hungry. I want to eat. Ugh. Oh, yawn. I yawned. I did not mean to yawn. But yeah, no, very, very interesting. Um, Honestly, let me pull something up real quick. Let me pull something up real quick. Where's the description? Okay. Okay, I'm curious. I'm curious here. Save the Villainess Steam. Oh, hold on a second. Let me look here. Let me look at the Steam. Save. Okay, it's called Save the Villainess. An Otome is an isekai role-playing game. Some people have pets. You now have a romance novel Villainess. Guide your neurodiverse villainess through an animated visual novel with menacing manners, mysteries, wit, men, and murder to see if you can save the villainess. Single player family. Okay, what genre does it say it is? Adventure. Congratulations, you are now in possession of one in your neurodivergent romance novel Villainess. Unfortunately, neither you nor she remember the bad romance novel you are trapped in, or which character wants her dead. Guide your amnesiac villainess through mysteries, menacing manners, and wit men who may be trying to murder her. Meet with 5 suspiciously gorgeous characters. 5? I only met 4. 5 suspiciously gorgeous characters and pursue romance, revenge, or revolution. Can you find clues, fight off foes, calm angry furniture, and escape from eldritch horrors while solving the mystery of this world? Can you save the villainess? Okay, yada yada yada. Animations. Save the Villainess's animated characters, backgrounds, and cutscenes allow you to step into a living painting, one where every corner, character, creature, and even cushion can lead to your death. Gameplay. Guide your villainess by going on investigations, fighting battles, and making choices that lead you closer to romance, revenge, or revolution. Find the information you need to solve mysteries, defeat your enemies, and make deductions that will save your villainess or kill her. Other features. 60 hours of gameplay over 4 routes. Each of the 3 main routes, Edmund, Izel, and Ben, offers 3 diverse sub-routes and mysteries, as well as 10 different good endings and 30 plus bad endings. Jesus Christ. 30 plus bad endings. After you conquer the 3 major routes, there will be one final mystery to solve. User choice. Your decisions in the story matter and determine whether you live, die, find a lover among 5 possible partners, including 3 men, 1 woman, and 1 non-binary character, Forge a life alone or pursue secret endings. Shape your villainous fate, no matter how tragic or triumphant it may be. Variable difficulty. Play in story mode to get in-game indicators about your likelihood of survival, or play in detective mode to survive by your wits alone. Change mode at any time in the settings menu. Play your way. Use our save/load system to save at nearly any point in the game. You can also skip and move backwards to scenes, or use the chapter system to revisit or skip any chapter you have played. You can even skip the entire common route after playing it once. Okay. Yeah, okay. Fascinating. Very, very interesting. So yeah, specs. So those are the three main routes. Then the servant must be another route, and then there must be like some other character that we haven't even met yet that you can also romance. Is it the heroine? Oh, it would be so good if you could actually romance the heroine. I would do that route. I would do that route if I could. That would be really fun. Like if you're the villainess, you can romance the heroine. That would be cool. I would enjoy that. Uh, oh my god. Uh, but yeah, that was very interesting. Hold on, give me a second. Give me another second. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, very, very interesting. It doesn't say, it says coming soon. It doesn't really have a release date, so yeah. Do they have any other games out? Nope, this is the only one. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. They said they had a Kickstarter. Is the Kickstarter still up? Oh. It was funded. It was backed. What is the latest update? It says it was last updated. Oh. Okay, they had a bunch of streams cast. Okay, Save the Villainess features a rich cast of characters including an amnesiac villainess, a crown prince, a duke of the north, a childhood friend, a servant, a mysterious woman, and many others who will appear as the story unfolds. Who will you choose to destroy, befriend, or seduce? Jane Neville, reluctant villainess. Potential victim. Edmund Alpin, crown prince. It's funny. Suspect 1. A chivalrous crown prince is usually the male lead in cliched romance novels. What female lead could resist a man who could crown her queen? Yet Prince Edmund is so obviously the prime suspect for being Jane's former fiancé that he cannot be the man who wants to murder her. Can he? Isel Kuzi, Duke of the North. What kind of heroine can resist a dashing and dangerous Duke of the North? However, Duke Isel is far more eccentric than most male leads, especially given his commitment to hiding in bushes, worrying about sofas, and making ominous plans. Is Jane's murder the next item on his to-do list? And we have Gain Gallion, aka Ben Buren, childhood friend. Ben has everything a male lead could hope for, including good looks, charm, wit, and a magical talent. Still, heroines in romance novels never choose the loyal yet boring childhood friend when more exciting men are around. Is Ben Jane's supporter, or can a handsome childhood friend really rise to the role of murderous male lead? Servant. The servant. Oh, so the servant is servant is they them. Sometimes a butler and sometimes a maid. The servant in charge of Jane's new prison, a charmingly remote manor, is a mystery. They obviously know more than they are choosing to share with Jane, or anyone else. Is this romance story terrible enough that the butler really did do it? Oh. Hello! Oh my god! Some of these extras are fucking hot. Hello, hold on. Let me... hold on. Like, hello? Anyone with sense would have tried to kill you years ago. Raymond Alpin, murderous extra? Raymond Alpin appears to be an even shinier, more dangerous-looking double of the Crown Prince Edmund Alpin. They even share the last name. A man with so little available information is usually a minor character. However, could someone this shiny really fade into the background? If Raymond is royalty, does that mean he wants the crown of Jane's guillotined head? Oh, okay. I was a little bit concerned about the lack of melanin in the game, but I guess it was hiding here. Roshan, he, him. I will beg for anything you want, and I hope I can make you beg in return. Oh, Jesus. Death by pictorials. Single names are usually reserved for the stars of the stage. Given Roshan's otherworldly beauty, he could easily join the ranks of those so charismatic they need no further introduction. However, this is a murder mystery. How could a man this striking have no information on who he is or why he appeared? Roshan is unlike anyone else in this tale, and that means he might have a unique role in the story, such as being the person responsible for Jay's imminent death. And then this person is just a silhouette. When you have read too many bad romance novels, there are characters that you forget, or that you never knew existed. Sometimes it feels as if there is someone important that no one remembers, someone who is concealing a vital truth that Jane needs to know. Can you uncover the truth that will set Jane free, or destroy her completely? The rest of the cast awaits your arrival. Oh! Ooh. Cool. Oh my god. Baba Booey. Hi, Ozzy! What's up? I'll be so real, I'm slightly killing time until I can raid into Andros. Hi! Hi! I finished the game, it was very strange. It was very strange. It had a lot of innuendo in it. They were talking so much about hardwood and pricking and mounting and riding, and also Gail Gallion was in it. Beautiful. Hold on. Let me find it. I think I saved it. No, I didn't. I didn't save it. I did take a screenshot of him. This isn't even the best picture. Where's a picture that actually demonstrates how Gail Gallion-like he is? Here, found it. Okay, hold on. I won't do that. Give me a second. Is this not just Gail Gallion? Oh my god. Is this not just Gail Gallion? He even has green eyes. And he's an idiot. Like, I add brown hair. Yeah, and like his face, and like he has the same skin tone. Bite slip. God damn, it's your type, Oz. It's your type. No, dude, I almost need to show you the scenes that was his scene because he was so stupid. I kind of loved it. Bet about to be under me, dog. Oh my god, bro, I'm gonna need to clip some of this shit. I'm gonna need to clip all the innuendos because it was crazy, yo. But yeah, no, he's hot. He's fine as hell. He's the one I chose that like I was the most attracted to. I This guy was strange and I gave him a Swedish accent. This guy charmed me a lot, but he's like too perfect looking. He's too perfect looking for me. So I went with Gale Gallion, and I also just called him Gale Gallion the entire time. But yeah, hold on. Let me see. Is Andros? Are you lurking? Can you go live so I can raid into you? Oh, he's making rice. I was like, Andros, can you go live so I can raid into you? But you're down here. You're cooking. Oh god. Oh my god. I'm on Twitch. Crazy. I'm gonna go live before him, Jay. I mean, if you're going live, Oz, I'll raid into you. I'm waiting for my game to download because I'm dumb and forgot to. Oh god. Well, I mean, I can just I can hang out here. I can hang out here. What game are you playing? Oh, it's horror, right? I don't know if my laptop will be able to handle it on stream. Soma, right. Survival horror video game. Freaky! Oh god. I'm excited to play it because I watched Markiplier play it a long time ago. Yeah, I looked. Okay, so it's from like 2015 or something, right? I mean, you'd never catch me dead playing a game like that, but that's just because I'm a weenie. I'm a weenie. I'm a weenie. Yeah, I remember it being so cool, but I'm scarred. You're scarred or scared or both. Both. That's so valid. It's so valid. What? Okay, yeah, what question? Okay. The question posed by Andros is, can you handle the game on your own or do you want company? I don't know. LMFAO. What? Yeah. Just do you want me? What do you want me to do? What stream? Oz isn't live yet. I'll let you know when I'm like 30 minutes into it. Okay. You know what? No, I'm just gonna raid Aster. I'm just gonna raid Aster and then end stream so I can cook. I'll still probably be in call anyways, regardless. Okay, I might jump in. Okay. So tomorrow we have huge collab with the council. I will be playing a visual novel, and they will be helping me voice characters and also judging, or analyzing the game. So yeah, that will be at 4 p.m. CDT on my usual streaming time. So until then, stay safe on your adventures, and all hail the golden garbage pail. Okay, bye bye.